Premier League season with such a poor record. They've all been relegated. Sheffield United, ironically, the most recent. Do you give them any chance of staying up?
It's very difficult to give them any chance. I mean, you look at their squad, there's a real lack of quality in it. They don't have a lot of funds to bring people in January. It's going to be a long, hard season for them.
And what about Manchester United? Everything seems to be hard for them at the moment because, again, it wasn't a swashbuckling performance from Erik Ten Hag's side.
But it's an important victory for them. They needed to get a victory. There's been a lot going on, obviously the Bobby Charlton thing as well. But it took a spectacular goal from Diogo Dalot to win the game, but they've got players of that quality to be able to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, they've got a massive game against Copenhagen in the Champions League tomorrow night. And also, you mentioned Sir Bobby Charlton there. Obviously, tributes will be paid at Old Trafford tomorrow, and indeed here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this evening at half-time. There'll be a tribute to the England World Cup winner, richly deserved. Liverpool 2, Everton 0. Mo Salah had a stinker for much of this game and still ended up with 2 goals.
And that's what he does. I mean, it was a really poor performance. You don't often see him play that poorly, but he's such a brilliant goal scorer, and he's Liverpool's talisman, and while he's on the pitch, they've always got a chance. And again, they're another team that maybe haven't hit top form, but keep picking up points.
Yeah, they're the pace setters. Oh, they were the pace setters heading after that Merseyside derby. I thought Crystal Palace might give Newcastle a difficult afternoon. Didn't really turn out that way.
No, I mean, they got an early goal, didn't they, Newcastle, and it really did open the floodgates eventually. Palace usually very difficult to play against, but Newcastle are in really, really good form at the moment. The result against Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League has given them real belief that they can go and achieve something. Obviously, you've got a massive game coming up over the next couple of days against Borussia Dortmund. Yeah,
Dortmund yet to score, though, in the Champions League. You fancy Newcastle at home, wouldn't you?
100%. I'd fancy Newcastle at home against anyone.
Burnley beaten again away from home and beaten convincingly by a Brentford side who weren't exactly in tip-top form going into this one. Is Vincent Kompany maybe getting away with it a little bit in terms of not really being criticised?
I think that completely. I understand and I quite admire the way that he wants to play football, but it's not working. And they have to pick up points and they have to stay in the Premier League. And for me, he needs to change something, and that's going to be the biggest question over his managerial tenure so far, is can he make that change and can he stop making them pick up points without maybe playing the style of football that he wants to.
And you look at Luton in contrast. They're out of the relegation places at this moment in time. I think they'd have bitten your hand off if you said that to Rob Edwards at the start of the season. At 9 games in, they wouldn't be in the bottom 3. And unlike Burnley, they are difficult to beat. They are showing a little bit of character and defensive resilience. 2-0 down away from home at Forest. Forest with this brilliant home record at the City Ground, they managed to salvage a point.
Yeah, and they've got a great togetherness. Everyone's in it. It's a fairy tale story. I think everyone understands that the club haven't got the biggest finances, but they're all in it together. They're a real unit. They know what their strengths are, and they play to their strengths, and they're picking up points a bit like the team I grew up supporting, Wimbledon, when they first got into the top league.
What did you make of Aston Villa 4, West Ham 1? Again, I felt this could be maybe a little bit more even. Villa scored some brilliant goals in this game. Jarrod Bowen said it was an awful day at the office for West Ham. It was a good day at the office for Ollie Watkins again.
Yep. Yeah, Villa at home are so strong. I think that's 9 in a row they've won, I think, something like that. I mean, it's incredible. Unai Emery's done a brilliant job there, and it's such a tough place to go. If they could only turn their away form around, then they'd have a real chance of sort of challenging for the top 4.
The one game we haven't spoken about so far, Bournemouth 1, Wolves 2. Lewis Cook with a moment of madness in that game, sent off for a headbutt. That was a big turning point. Piles the pressure on Andoni Iraola, still looking for his first win as Bournemouth manager. And ironically, Chris Perry, it was Gary O'Neill back on his old stomping ground who inflicted defeat. He'd have enjoyed that one.
Oh, he certainly will have enjoyed that one. I mean, Bournemouth at the moment just can't buy a win. Cannot buy a win, and playing a nice brand of football again, but not picking up points. And I honestly think that he's going to be out of a job by the time the next international window comes around. Yeah,
they've got Burnley next at the Vitality, massive game. Then Liverpool in the Cup. They've got Newcastle under Eddie Howe. It's going to be difficult to turn that around quickly, but we shall keep a close eye on events on the South Coast. We're keeping a close eye on events in North London this evening. It's Tottenham Hotspur taking on Fulham in a London derby. Let's hear from the two managers, Marco Silva and everybody's best mate, Ange Postecoglou.
Really encouraging start to the season. Obviously honoured to receive the Manager of the Month, but that's sort of representative of a larger group of people. You know, the coaching staff, all the football department are working really hard at the moment to create an environment and a training sort of base for the players to perform. And fair to say, I think, apart from the results, which have obviously been pleasing, is I think we've had a level of performance in every game.
Tottenham is doing an amazing start of the season. They are on the top of the table, and it's clear why. Not just because of results. Of course, they have to achieve the results to be there, but the way they have been achieving the results is being really good, and we have to say credits to them. They have had a bad result, if I can say, this season, and was against us in the Carabao Cup. That is the true, of course, at Cottage, and different scenario, but it's going to be tough.
That's Ange Postecoglou and Marco Silva looking ahead to Tottenham against Fulham. We've spoken already about Postecoglou and the impact he's had on a short time at Tottenham. Marco Silva, I think we all expected him to take the money from Saudi Arabia in the summer. He didn't, and I understand he's close to signing a new deal at Fulham. How big a boost would that be?
It's a huge boost for Fulham. I think he's done a magnificent job since he went back to Fulham. Got them promoted, winning the league last season, stayed up really, really comfortably. I think he'd have liked to have bought a centre-forward in, so it's going to be interesting to see who he tries to bring in January. But I think he's doing a great job there. If they can finish mid-table with the squad that they've got, I think it'll be a real success for them.
You've mentioned their lack of goals already, but I did think they looked a better unit with Vinicius as the focal point in attack than Raul Jimenez.
Yeah, Raul Jimenez just looks like he's completely lost his confidence in that unfortunate head injury, and he's just not the same player. And Carlos Vinicius is a lot more mobile, gives them a much better focal point to play off, which is what Mitrovic was for them.
Well, Tottenham against Fulham underway very shortly. Just a reminder of the big team news. Both teams making one enforced change. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg starts in the Premier League for the first time this season for Spurs. That's after Yves Bissouma was sent off against Luton last time out. No Issa Diop for Fulham. He picked up a foot injury in their victory against Sheffield United. So Calvin Bassey, summer signing from Ajax, makes only his second Premier League start. Fulham in 13th place at the start of the evening. They are 7 points clear of the relegation places and a chance to move up into the top half. For Tottenham, victory would take them right back to the top. Kick-off not too far away now. It's Spurs against Fulham on Premier League Live.
Hey, it's Neil Barnett of Sirius XMFC here to tell you the best way to start your day is with the Football Show. This is an unbelievable raid covering all the latest soccer news from the Premier League to Europe and beyond. Hat-trick for Harry Kane! Featuring the one and only Rocky Ray Hudson. We're sitting on a golden vein of treasure people driving the car would love to hear. The Football Show, weekday mornings at 7 Eastern on Sirius XMFC 157 and the SXM app, free to most subscribers. Now that's a radio show.
Tom Money here from SiriusXM FC, and if you love soccer and you love banter, you need to check out Grumpy Pundits.
I accept your opinion, even though it's wrong.
We have a pair of legends in Rodney Marsh and Tommy Smith.
Did you ever hear such bull in your life?
And the three of us wind each other up whilst debating the biggest stories from the Premier League and beyond.
You're getting so grumpy.
Did you ever hear the name of this show?
Grumpy Pundits, weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SXM app, free for most subscribers.
We cover it all, from MLS to USL Championship to NISA to the NPSL and NWSL. For all the latest news going on in the beautiful game here in the U.S., make sure you tune in to me, Jason Davis, weekdays at noon Eastern on the United States of Soccer, Sirius XMFC 157.
Hey, it's Neil Barnett of Sirius XMFC here to tell you the best way to start your day is with the Football Show. Covering all the latest soccer news from the Premier League to Europe and beyond. We're sitting on a golden vein of treasure. The Football Show, weekday mornings at 7 Eastern on Sirius XMFC 157 and the SXM app, free to most subscribers. Get in there.
Don't miss the Football Show.
I have no idea what I am going to get when I watch Manchester United.
With Charlie Stilatano.
I'm going to say this about a player who's obviously enormously talented, Bruno Fernandes. I don't see him as a leader. When the going gets tough, where is this guy? And yes, I know he scores a lot of important goals, but way too often he's complaining, he's moaning. You don't know what you're going to get out of the guy.
The Football Show, weekday mornings at 7 Eastern on Sirius XM FC 157 or anytime on the Sirius XM app.
Tommy Smith from Grumpy Pundits here. You're listening to the United States exclusive home for the World Game, Sirius XM FC 157.
I'm Tommy Smith from Sirius XMFC. For a little nonsense and a lot of football, you tune into Grumpy Pundits weekdays from 9 a.m. Eastern on Sirius XMFC 157 or however you stream in the house.
It's time to get hyped for the NBA season on Sirius XM. From a rookie sensation in San Antonio.
Watch out below! A right-hand hammer slam for Victor Wembanyama.
To Dame time in Milwaukee.
It's good! 54 points for Damian Lillard.
You'll hear every game on Sirius XM, including your hometown announcers on the Sirius XM app. And stay on point with all the biggest stories on Sirius XM NBA Radio, Channel 86.
You are listening to TalkSport's coverage of Tottenham Hotspur against Fulham from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I'm your host, Alex Crook. Alongside me, the former Spurs defender, Chris Perry. This is Premier League Live, where Ange Postecoglou stands on the brink of a piece of Premier League history. 20 points from his first 8 games as Tottenham gaffer. No manager has ever taken 23 points from their first 9, and maybe more crucially for Tottenham, only 2 of 28 Premier League teams to rack up this many points from their first 8 matches have failed to go on and finish in the top 4. Fulham, the visitors, looking to end a wretched record in away London derbies. Just 1 victory from their last 21 forages away from Craven Cottage against their capital rivals. Can they cause an upset to bring this Premier League weekend to a surprising crescendo? Tottenham with that one change, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg replacing the suspended Basuma in midfield lineup with Vicario in goal, Pedro Porro, Romero, Van der Ven and Udogie in front of him. Højbjerg and Sarr will hold in midfield, Kulusevski, Maddison and Richarlison behind Son up front. One change for Fulham as well, Calvin Bassey replaces the injured Diop at the back, so it's Leno in goal, Castagna, Bassey, Ream and Robinson in a back 4, Paulinho Pereira and Lukic in midfield, and then Bobby Decordova-Reid, their leading goal scorer this season with 2, is alongside Vinicius and Willian, the former Arsenal man, up front. In terms of the subs, Tottenham have Forster as their backup goalkeeper, Skip Hill, Emerson Royal, Dyer, Lo Celso, Johnson who's fit for bench duty, Phillips and Valise making up that bench for Fulham. Rodak, the backup keeper, Harrison Reed, Jimenez, Wilson Kearney, Balo Toure, one of their transfer deadline day signings, Rodrigo Muniz, Alex Iwobi and Luke de Figueroles. The referee this evening is Anthony Taylor, with Paul Tierney watching on VAR. And before kick-off, there will be a mark of respect for all those affected by the ongoing crisis in Israel and Gaza. Premier League match officials, managers and players wearing black armbands, and will observe a minute silence, as you can hear on the PA system at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
This difficult time in the Middle East, but also with those who have suffered the loss of loved ones and the communities impacted. We hope and stand for peace. As a mark of respect, we shall now observe a period of silence as we remember the innocent victims of the ongoing crisis in Israel and Gaza. This will start and end on the referee's whistle. Please remain silent until you've heard the second whistle.
A minute silence, impeccably observed. A reminder there will be a tribute to the late great Sir Bobby Charlton during half-time of this game. The Tottenham players in a show of unity before kick-off gathered in a huddle on the edge of the centre circle. Son fit to start despite the fact he's nursing a groin problem. The Tottenham skipper just giving his final pre-match rallying cry, and it will be Fulham all in black with pink trim on their shirt, shooting from left to right, who will get us underway. Tottenham all in white, attacking the goal away to our left. And remember, victory for Spurs will put them back to the Premier League summit. But Leno, the Fulham goalkeeper, going long upfield right from kick-off. It might come down for Bobby Deckled over Reed, who lets fly with a right-footed volley from 25 yards out, but always well wide, Chris Perry.
Yeah, why not though? Mistimed header from Romero, fell nicely to hit on the volley for Deckled over Reed, but well wide of the goal.
He's another player, Romero, who is nursing an injury. Picked up on international duty with Argentina, but both him and Son coming through their late fitness tests. And here is Mickey van der Ven, the Dutchman who got his first Spurs goal to win that game at Luton a fortnight ago. And it's Van der Ven, already a fan's favourite here in North London, who plays it forward over the halfway line. Maddison dispossessed by Bassi, and Deckled over Reed is going to try and release Vinicius. Van der Ven was there, and then it's helped onto Richarlison on this left-hand side. Udogie chips it into the Fulham half, and Bassi has slammed it against his own man, Paulinho. Here's Richarlison, blonde-haired Brazilian down the left-hand side. In comes the challenge from Paulinho, and the ball is out of play for a Tottenham throw.
Yeah, typical João Paulinho, wasn't it? Coming across, dealing with the danger, sliding in, winning the ball cleanly.
Son dropping deep into midfield, trying to wriggle away from Paulinho, but he won it back there, and then Son skips clear from Pereira, picks up the loose ball, claims it's brought down on the edge of the area. Referee disinterested, and the ball cleared upfield by Leno and collected by Vinicius. One back by Van der Ven. Maddison looking for Son. Son against Leno. He was offside anyway.
He's getting a free kick.
Fired the shot against Leno. I think he was in two minds, wasn't he, about whether to go round the goalkeeper or let fly, and he has pulled it back. Anthony Taylor for a foul on Maddison on the edge of the area, so the goal would have counted. He was onside.
He was onside, yeah, certainly. It was a difficult one, didn't it? I think Bernd Leno almost dived to his right-hand side, which meant that Son didn't feel that he could take it round him, so tried to flick it with the outside of his right foot, roll it underneath him almost, and didn't quite come off for Son.
3 minutes played here, Spurs 0, Fulham 0. But these anxious early moments for Fulham. James Maddison, who won his 5th England cap in that friendly against Australia during the international break, is placing the ball down with purpose. Pedro Porro sizing it up as well, but surely it will be Maddison.
It suits a right footer, go over the wall.
Yes, a very central position, probably 12 yards outside the box. Oh, Maddison has played it short to Udogie. It's a cleverly disguised free kick, but Udogie's touch was a poor one, and that allows Fulham to clear to the halfway line.
Yeah, disappointing really when you're in a position like that for Maddison where you can get a shot at goal. And they try something clever and it doesn't come off.
4 minutes gone.
Sorry, Alex. It was almost like Udogie wasn't really expecting it.
Maddison's been upended by Deckled over Reed. Plenty of early Tottenham free kicks. We're expecting a combative Fulham performance. That's what we're getting. They were very placid actually in defeat against Chelsea in the London derby 3 weeks ago at home. Much more fired up for this one, Fulham, so far. 4 minutes gone, 0-0, and you're listening to Premier League Live. Here's Romero over the halfway line for Spurs. Collected in the right back position by Pape Sarr. Fulham content to sit deep inside their own half and allow Tottenham to dominate possession before looking to press high, try and hit their hosts on the counter-attack. Here is Romero again, forward to Pape Sarr, the Senegalese international. Van der Ven will stretch those long legs and move into the Fulham half. He's being tracked all the way by Vinicius, and he almost gave it away to Deckled over Reed. He did well to keep possession, Van der Ven.
Strong, isn't he, Van der Ven? when he gets going, very quick as well.
Maddison plays it forward to Udogie, shields off Decordova-Reid and makes his way towards the penalty area. Richarlison in the left wing position, crosses to around about the 6-yard line, headed away by Ream, the American. Maddison nods it back into the penalty area. Son knew he was offside, didn't go for the ball, but
he ran in front of Ream.
Impeded Tim Ream, so the free kick goes Fulham's way. Good start from Spurs.
Yeah, I think interesting approach from Fulham to kind of sit off and allow the two centre-backs of Spurs to have it, and then and try and be compact and not give them a lot of space to play in behind. I think Son loves getting the ball in behind. Richarlison's got pace. Kulusevski obviously likes it a little bit more to feet playing on that side of the pitch, but
I think Marco Silva will want his Fulham side to just be a bit more careful in possession. Anthony Robinson, the latest to give the ball away. Done that a few times already in these first 6 minutes. It remains 0-0. Here is Maddison just inside the Fulham half, probing left-footed ball forward to Udogie. Richarlison's made the overlapping run. I think Udogie was fouled there, was he, by Decordova-Reid? The referee is allowing play to continue. Here's Højbjerg now looking to impress Ange Postecoglou in the absence of Basuma in midfield. Van der Ven forward to Udogie. Udogie away from Castagna, finds Maddison. He's been fouled by Paulinho, and it will be a free kick in an almost identical position to where they took the last one, Spurs.
I'll be surprised if they do the same thing, but it's a lovely first touch from Maddison. Just opened up his body, took it across Paulinho, who just left his left leg there into the knee of James Maddison and gives away a free kick in another dangerous position, as you said. Surely going to have a shot this time.
Paulinho, I think, is going to have to be careful now in terms of potential yellow card. He's been booked a lot over the course of his Premier League career, 14 yellows last season alone. Paulinho. It's Maddison and Pedro Porro again who stand over the ball. Again, Udogie is making that run in from the left side of the area. This time it's chipped in towards Romero and comes down for Van der Ven, and he shoots over from 12 yards.
It's a really good opportunity for Mickey Van der Ven. Little floated ball looking for Christian Romero. Gets in front of Robinson, heads it back across goal. 10 yards out on his right foot on the volley. Van der Ven just doesn't get over the top of it and lifts it over the crossbar. Disappointing result, really, from a good chance.
He scored at Luton a fortnight ago, Van der Ven. Maybe should have been celebrating his first goal here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in a Spurs shirt. Kulusevski into the area. Down goes Pedro Porro. Robinson immediately telling the Portuguese to get back to his feet.
He's given a free kick here, hasn't he, Anthony Taylor, on the edge of the box.
Well, Robinson was convinced it was a dive by Porro.
It's a foul.
Outside the area, just.
It's a foul, certainly a free kick. Just catches him, stands on Pedro Porro's left foot there, Anthony Robinson, as he comes across trying to make the block.
Well, Son is asking whether or not it was inside the box. It
wasn't.
Certainly was outside. Yeah. Anthony Robinson protesting his innocence, but I think the referee has made the right call.
Yep. He gave himself a little bit of time to think about it, didn't he, Anthony Taylor? Did well there.
Well, Maddison's had 2 free kicks already within shooting range, has opted not to go for goal. I wonder if he might fancy testing Leno with this one. Son has walked away from the ball. Referee Anthony Taylor just confirming with the VAR room at Stockley Park that the challenge was indeed outside the box. And Maddison here to take the free kick, only half a yard outside the area. Kulusevski in the bright pink boots is also showing some interest. Surely he's going to shoot this time, Chris Perry.
You'd think so. Angles against him though.
Might actually favour Kulusevski coming in on that left foot, and indeed Maddison flicks it into the Swede. His shot blocked by the Fulham wall. Udogie keeps it alive on this near touchline. Højbjerg plays it back towards the centre of the Fulham half to Sarr. 10 minutes gone. And virtually all those minutes have been played in the Fulham half of the field.
Yeah, they have.
Højbjerg trying to switch it out to the right-hand side, and Kulusevski picks out his teammate. Kulusevski into Pedro Porro. He's been caught. The offside flag goes up. Again, it was quite an intricate little move from Tottenham.
They look good, don't they? There's a lot of movement when everyone gets the ball. There's a real belief. Kulusevski plays it back to Porro.
I don't think he was offside. I think it's probably a foul, is it?
I think it's probably just offside, but it did look like a foul by Anthony Robinson again.
Ange Postecoglou, hands in pockets, watching on. Former Australian national team manager, but it is a Fulham free kick, which Leno takes from inside the penalty area, looking for Willian. Deflects off Pedro Porro and out for a Fulham throw and a chance for the visitors just to alleviate some of this early Tottenham pressure. 11 minutes gone, 0-0. It's Bassi back on the edge of the Fulham area, threatening to give the ball away to Maddison before recycling it to Leno. And then his punt upfield is well held up by Vinicius, and an excellent ball by Williams. Scoops it out to the right-hand side, and Decordova-Reid. It was a good run by Vinicius inside the area. Romero has to turn it behind his own crossbar for a corner.
Yeah, it was a nice move by Fulham, wasn't it? Into Vinicius. Willian's first time pass out wide to Decordova-Reid, and then he tries to hit it first time on the half volley into the run of
Sasa Lukic, I think it was.
Breaking into the box, yeah. Romero, as he almost always is, in the way.
Fulham with their first corner of the evening, the first corner of the evening, in fact. Pereira from the right-hand side. And a header towards the corner, which has been clawed away by Vicario. Excellent save from him.
Paulinho's header.
And then Castagna penalised for a foul on the follow-up. João Paulinho not far away there from nodding Fulham into the lead. It was a really good piece of goalkeeping.
It's a really good piece of goalkeeping because Paulinho heads this as well as he can. The connection's brilliant, and it's the fact that he gets such a strong hand on it to keep it out because it's at full stretch. And then Højbjerg, give him some credit, was alive as well to the knockdown.
And the first big chance of the game goes to the visitors, and Vicario there with a chance to add to his already impressive save percentage, the £17 million signing from Empoli over in Italy. 78% of shots faced he's managed to keep out the back of the net. One ball forward towards Richarlison at the other end. Bassi finds Paulinho in midfield.
It's not a foul,
Caught by Udogie according to the referee. Got a free kick for Fulham right in the centre of their own half.
Yeah, they're pressing high, Spurs, aren't they, when Fulham get the ball, really trying to put them under pressure. And Paulinho, a little bit fortunate to win the free kick there.
Yeah, certainly didn't look like there was too much wrong with the challenge from Udogie. He isn't the new signing, Destiny Udogie, but he feels like one, doesn't he, with his renaissance this season?
Yeah, it's obviously his first season actually playing at Spurs, but signed the season before. I went to actually the England-Italy game, and he was very impressive for Italy.
They need all the good players they can get at the moment. Italy. Richarlison has been fouled, meanwhile, just inside the Tottenham half. Clumsy. Castagna.
Yeah.
And the free kick played back towards Romero. Still goalless here. Spurs have won 8 of their last 10 home London derbies. 13 of the last 15 Premier League meetings between these two. And the home fans in good voice, encouraged by what they've seen from Postecoglou's Ben early on. Romero with the ball out to the right-hand side, and Pedro Porro. Back to Romero again. Slows the game down, knocks it forward to Papsar. Picked up now by Romero inside the centre circle for Tottenham. Again, Fulham well organised. Everybody back behind the ball. Højbjerg pokes it forward towards Udogie, then finds Maddison on this near side. Maddison with a low ball, which is steered away by Bassi, but collected by Sarr inside the centre circle. They just can't keep possession Fulham for any prolonged period of time.
And that's what they need to do. When they do win it back, they have to find that first pass and retain possession, because if Spurs win it, they're just camped in Fulham's half at the moment.
Højbjerg rolls the ball into the path of Romero. 15 on the clock, 0-0 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. This magnificent place that Tottenham call home. Papsar into the centre circle of Van der Ven. Van der Ven shifts it out to the left, and Richarlison trying to play it forward to Udogie. Intercepted by Castagna, and Tottenham have a throw. Level with the penalty area away to our left. Udogie weighing up his options and throwing it short to Son. Bassey company gives it back to Udogie, and then Maddison has the ball stolen away by Castagna, but again it's going to come straight back towards that Fulham area. Pedro Porro with a flick back to Sarr on the halfway line. When he goes forward, Pedro Porro, Sarr drops into the back four. Fulham have it though with Pereira, and he can't find Robinson over on the far side, so Spurs have a throw midway inside the Fulham half. Again, an example of a Fulham play giving the ball away cheaply.
There's going to be space on the counter-attack for Fulham to exploit in behind, because Spurs are so high and have got so many bodies in Fulham's half, but they have to keep the first pass if they're going to take advantage of that.
Here's Romero, a yard inside Fulham territory. They're going to pick out Richarlison down the left, but can only find Castagna, and Bassey here inside his own area was immediately hassled and harried by Udogie, but they played their way out neatly, and Willian was caught by Pedro Porro. It's a free kick for Fulham, 10 yards inside their own half.
Yeah, I think everyone knows when Willian gets the ball, he's going to drive inside onto that right foot. And Pedro Porro seemed to be a little bit caught out by it, which is worrying.
He's had injury issues, Willian, this season, after an excellent campaign last term in a Fulham shirt. Castagna punts it forward, and it's collected on the halfway line by Paulinho. Excellent range of passing from him. Finds Willian, and then Willian has been fouled by Kulusevski this time, and again he was looking to cut inside, just clattered into by Kulusevski.
Yeah, Kulusevski is a little more unlucky than Porro, because he understands that Willian wants to come inside, so he's trying to hold his ground and block that space for him to do so, but Willian just jinked the ball past him and ran into him and was blocked off.
18 minutes gone. Tottenham 0, Fulham 0. Tottenham have dominated possession, but it's Fulham who've come close to scoring. Paulinho's header clawed away by Vicario from a corner. And here's Andreas Pereira with the free kick, short towards Lukic, and charged down by Maddison. Spurs fans enjoyed that. And then it's Anthony Robinson who heads it forward on this right-hand side, and Castagna's got the wrong side of Udogie, and he crosses in towards Carlos Vinicius. At the near post, he can only flick his header wide for a goal kick.
Yeah, better from Fulham, wasn't it? Ball down the side. Finds its way to Castagna. Shrugs off the challenge of Udogie, puts the ball in at the near post, and difficult header for Carlos Vinicius as he tries to glance it towards the far post and doesn't make the target, but a little bit of sign of what Fulham are looking to do, win the ball back and attack quickly.
Here's Maddison looking to release Richarlison, perfectly weighted pass. Richarlison there ahead of Castagna. His cross is disappointing, cleared away by Bassey, and then Son winning it back off Lukic. No foul, says the referee, and I think he got that one right. Robinson then gets there ahead of Kulusevski, and here comes Willian leading the charge over the halfway line for Fulham, trying to play in Vinicius, and across comes Van der Ven, and in the end just carries the ball out for a Fulham throw.
Yeah, he showed his pace there, Van der Ven, didn't he? Just seemed to just put it into first gear and ran away from Carlos Vinicius.
He does have a tremendous turn of foot, the big Dutchman. Formed a good partnership early in the campaign with Romero. Here's Calvin Bassey. The Europa League finalist with Rangers. Didn't really work out for him at Ajax last season, although pretty sure when he looks at the Dutch league table and what's happening at his old club, he's quite pleased that he got away this summer. Ajax taking on Brighton in a big Europa League game this coming Thursday. Here's Willian. Got goal side of Pedro Porro. Cuts in onto his right foot from the left wing, and he's played the ball behind Lukic. Castagna keeps Fulham in possession. Ream out to Robinson, floated ball, picks out the American on that left touchline. Then Robinson's cross is blocked behind by Romero, and Fulham have their second corner. They nearly scored from the last one.
Yeah, just starting to build up ahead of steam. A bit of confidence now, Fulham.
Vicario organising that Tottenham defence. Andreas Pereira to play it in from the left-hand side, right-footed. Vicario takes it cleanly and then immediately bowls it out to Kulusevski. He was off balance, but he still managed to set Tottenham away on the attack here. Only Son ahead of Kulusevski, with Charlison joining belatedly, so he goes back to the halfway line with Udogie. And now Maddison for Spurs.
They slowed it down, Spurs, didn't they? I honestly thought Richarlison should have been breaking his neck to get up in support. There was acres of space there, and it just looked like he was ambling up in support, really, and didn't show any real effort to get up and beyond.
Maddison's given the ball away.
Challenge, that is.
Sliding tackle from Paulinho, got there ahead of Udogie, goes down. The referee is stopping the play here, and then there was an incident between Romero and Vinicius.
I think Vinicius was offside when the ball cannoned forward, but I think they're going to go back and look at the Paulinho challenge. It looked to me as though it was a fair challenge, but it was certainly a strong one.
Well, we're going to see a replay now. It's one of those where he overran the ball and he went flying in to try and win it back, and I'm not sure he did.
He doesn't.
I don't think it's red card worthy.
No, well, it's not.
It wasn't even given as a free kick, but I think it probably was a foul.
Yeah, I think it probably was in the end.
He's already been guilty of one foul, Paulinho. The Fulham fans will enjoy that because, as I mentioned, that game against Chelsea didn't make a single tackle in that game. Very unlike Paulinho. Certainly more at his bristling best tonight in midfield. Still very much, I understand, on Bayern Munich's radar ahead of the January transfer window. Fulham looking at Calvin Phillips, I'm told, as a potential replacement if that deal was to go through. Of course, he did sign a new contract, Paulinho, after the summer move to Bavaria collapsed on deadline day, after Fulham failed to recruit a suitable replacement.
He's a good player. He's certainly better than Fulham, that's for sure. And he's going to be very much sought after.
Maddison wins free kick for Tottenham on the halfway line, which he goes back to Christian Romero. Spurs, for all the possession, Chris, haven't had a shot on target yet. No. Halfway through this first half at 0-0.
They've struggled to break down this dogged Fulham defence. Really well organised, actually, by Marco Silva.
They're going to have to stay in the game as long as possible here, Fulham. Failed to win any of their last 15 Premier League matches in which they've conceded the first goal. Maddison with the ball forward into Son. Lays it off for Sarr. Awkward pass out to Kulusevski, but Kulusevski still keeps possession, drives towards the area, and it's out with Son in the right wing position, trying to cut it back for Kulusevski. Stabbed away by Lukic, but not very far. Maddison into the penalty area. Just ran into trouble in the form of Robinson, and then helped the ball out to Pedro Porro, who crosses low, and it's steered clear by Ream. Here is the gangly Sarr for Tottenham. Now Højbjerg in the blue footwear. Away from the challenge of Vinicius. Here's Son trying to play it forward to Richarlison, when maybe could have gone for goal from the edge of the box, and Fulham again defending well. Now Decordova-Reid on the counter, in slides Udogie, and the last touch was off the Fulham man, and Tottenham have a throw 15 yards inside their own half on this near left-hand side.
It was a good spell of pressure from Spurs again, but still no end product to it. As you say, Son probably should have got a shot off, but it was on his left foot, didn't fancy it, tried to play a little ball inside Calvin Bassey, and Calvin Bassey sorted his feet out beautifully to intercept it.
Romero into Udogie, tries to flick it round the corner for Son. Fulham once again defensively watertight. Decordova-Reid looking for Willian. Romero there first, and perhaps Sarr has shown too much of it to Paulinho, and it's played out by Pereira to Willian. Goalless in this London derby. Lukic right in the centre of the Spurs half, shoots from a long way out. and it's well wide.
It's over 30 yards out. And it's a terrible effort from Sasha Lukic.
25 gone. Still we await the breakthrough in this all-capital encounter. Tottenham fans trying to cajole their team on, offering plenty of vocal support. It has been a real feel-good factor around the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium since Postecoglou took charge. It was like a morgue at times last season. Romero chips it forward down the right-hand side to Pedro Porro. Under pressure from Willian, so Pedro Porro plays it back to Sarr, and then Kulusevski picks it up in an offside position over on the right-hand side. Free kick for Fulham.
Yeah, I'm not sure Ange Postecoglou will be completely pleased with his team at the moment. He's not created a chance. A little bit ponderous in possession at times. And Fulham, I think, look a threat on the counter-attack in behind.
Cario being closed down by Vinicius, but he just side-foots the ball out to the right-hand side of Romero, and then he's passed it straight to Willian. Pereira picks it up inside the box. Tottenham asking for offside, but at the moment play will continue. Here is Paulinho. Floats the ball out to this right touchline, and Castagna, he was pressurised by Richarlison, and the pass too heavy for Deco-Dova-Reid, now to play for a throw. But we nearly saw another example of a goalkeeper there squandering possession inside his own penalty area and being caught out.
Yeah, it's very sloppy from Vicario. Fortunate to get away with it.
Romero saunters forward into the centre circle for Tottenham. 27 played, 0-0. Maddison looking for Højbjerg, finds Son ahead of him. Son out to the left, and Richarlison, can he pick out a teammate in white? Cutting in Richarlison from the left-hand side, and then Højbjerg with a shot drilled into the arms of Leno, and he's a bit frustrated, Højbjerg, that he didn't force more of a save out of the Fulham keeper. It is a shot on target at least.
Moved it well across the edge of the box, didn't they? Maddison just lays it to his right-hand side into the path of Højbjerg, who probably hits it too well, too cleanly, straight down the throat of Bernd Leno. Had he just sliced it slightly, would have been far more difficult.
Tim Ream chesting the ball down on the edge of the Fulham area. Lukic rolls it out to Castagna. Certainly have looked confident, Fulham, when they have been able to get in possession. Romero too strong for Vinicius, and then plays it against the former Tottenham striker and out for a throw. Turning into a good battle between Romero and Vinicius.
Yeah, certainly, and Romero probably just about edging it at the moment, but he'll enjoy that battle. Argentina, Brazil, they certainly enjoy those.
Certainly no love lost between those two particular South American neighbours. Well, surely that's going to be a foul by Castagna on Richarlison. The referee waves the appeals away. He has tried to let the game flow, Anthony Taylor. I guess we should give him credit for that. Deco-Dova-Reid has his pocket picked by Udogie, but Fulham still in possession with Deco-Dova-Reid in this right-hand side. Then it's one back by Richarlison. In the end, Tottenham win a throw.
It's fiercely contested at the moment, this game. Ebbing and flying from one end to the other.
And Tottenham know they're in a battle, that's for sure, as they look to pick up the 3 points they need to reclaim top spot in the Premier League table. Do have the option of Brennan Johnson on the bench tonight, having recovered from injury. Richarlison at the moment has struggled to make much of an impact in the opening 29 minutes. Here's Willian, booed by the Spurs fans because of his Arsenal and Chelsea connection.
Couldn't have picked two worse teams, really, could he, for Spurs fans?
Robinson has knocked it away from Pedro Porro, and he's trying to cut the cross back for Pereira inside the area. But Spurs have cleared the danger. Maddison releasing Kulusevski. They look a little bit short-handed here, Fulham. Son in the centre, Maddison racing forward in support. Kulusevski to Richarlison! And he's side-footed wide from 20 yards out. And I think he really should have hit the target.
Oh, he definitely should have hit the target. Kulusevski freed down the right-hand side by Maddison. Drives inside across the 18-yard box, then slides it beautifully, just leaves it in the path of Richarlison. 18 yards out on his right foot, tries to bend it low and hard into the bottom corner and gets it probably a couple of inches wide of Bernd-Leno's left-hand post. Should have hit the target.
Well, he still only scored 2 Premier League goals for Tottenham. Richarlison, one of them in the late comeback win over Sheffield United earlier this season. An excellent counter-attacking move. Here's Udogie into Maddison. Kulusevski in space to his right. Looks for Son in the centre instead. And Son's shot from the edge of the area is a tame one. Didn't connect cleanly. And it's straight into the arms of Bernd-Leno.
That's a good move though. Maddison, lovely on the half turn, gets turned. Little disguise pass into Son. First touch with his left foot was really good. It was sitting up to strike on the volley. And he just almost completely misses his kick and fluffs it weakly back towards Leno.
14 minutes to the half to play. Tottenham 0, Fulham 0. Monday night football in the Premier League. Papsar now for Spurs. This is a good couple of minutes for the home side. Kulusevski forward to Sarr. Was he fouled by Paulinho?
No, I don't think he was.
Paulinho glaring at the Senegalese as the ball goes behind for a goal kick.
I think he knew that he wasn't going to get anything out of Paulinho there. Kicked it past him and threw himself to the floor, Papsar. Spurs with a good period of pressure again.
Paulinho was far from impressed, I think we can say. But he went down looking for a free kick. Here's Robinson, left corner of the Fulham area. Pass forward, intercepted by Porro. Here's Son now. Can he get a shot away from the edge of the area? Into Maddison, just got the ball stuck under his studs for a moment. Maddison, though, rampaging towards goal. Richarlison's low cross is blocked. Good pressure this from Tottenham. As Pierre Højbjerg plays it back out to the left and Richarlison again. Level with the 18-yard line. In towards Udogie. Looks to cut it back. Was that handball by Bassi?
I don't think it was.
Tottenham are asking for it. And the moment play will continue.
I don't think it was. I think he slid in. He had his hands by his side. And I think it hits him. It might hit him on the top of the chest and the arm possibly, but it'd be very harsh if it was given as a penalty.
Well, Paulinho is caught on the ball by Sarr and wins it back from Kulusevski. Here comes Willian for Fulham. 3 against 4 on the edge of the area. Willian into Pereira. Pass was undercooked and Romero steps in and runs it clear to the halfway line for Tottenham. This is a good game.
It's a really good game, very watchable, isn't it? Two teams playing very different styles. Fulham looking to hit Spurs on the counter-attack. Spurs looking to build and be patient in their attacks.
Here is
making for a great spectacle, isn't it?
Pierre Højbjerg out to Kulusevski on the right. He's starting to see more of the ball. Kulusevski running at Robinson into the area, cuts it back to the edge of the box and Højbjerg. Now Papsar a few yards ahead of the Dane. Again, Fulham have got everybody back behind the ball. Van der Ven out to left and Richarlison. Maddison has made a dart ahead of him. Maybe a decoy run because Richarlison instead rolls it into Sarr on the edge of the box, gets it back Richarlison. Left-hand side of the area. Son pokes it into Maddison. And he's just hanging on the edge of the area, Son. Maddison with a shot. I mean, cut in from the left-hand side on his right foot. And again, it's a tame one. Straight at Bernd-Leno.
Yeah, he worked the opportunity to get the shot off beautifully. Quick feet. Just having a look at the replay of the penalty shout. Certainly not. Calvin Bassey had his arms by his side, hits him on the chest.
11 minutes the first half to play. Still no goals between Spurs and Fulham. Tottenham have scored in each of their last 20 Premier League matches. No sign of a breakthrough yet, though. Van der Ven, who probably had their best chance of the game.
Yeah, the volley early on. Yep.
And the 3 shots now that Leno has had to face have all been very savable. Vicario make an excellent stop at the other end to keep out the Paulinho header from a corner. Romero over the halfway line. Son with the first time ball into Kulusevski, and he's carried on his run. Son. Tim Ream just about got there. Managed to smuggle the ball clear to the edge of the area.
Well, that's going to be a yellow
card. Who you said before the game was a good bet for a booking, has gone flying into the challenge on Willian. And there is the first yellow card of the evening, and Højbjerg can have few complaints.
No, he slid in thinking he was going to intercept it, completely mistimed it. No malice in the challenge, and no real danger. He almost pulls out and Willian jumps over it, in fact, but
he was out of control.
The intent was there, wasn't it? Yeah.
And he's bound to look a little bit rusty, making his first Premier League start of the season.
I think he's been impressive. He's kept the ball well.
Here's Richarlison. Son, is he onside? Into the area. Son with a shot into the corner. The flag stays down, and Tottenham lead in the London derby. And it's their talisman, Son, again, with his 50th goal here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's an absolute rocket shot. It's Tottenham 1, Fulham 0.
Well, the question mark is going to be whether he's onside or not. It's very, very close. You'd imagine it's going to be about where Tim Ream and where Anthony Robinson were, but it's a poor giveaway by Calvin Bassey here. Ball into the front, intercepted by Van der Ven. Richarlison, yeah, Tim Ream is playing him onside. Lovely jink pass back inside onto his right foot to open up the goal. And Son, as you've seen so many times on his right foot, bends it high into the top corner past Bernd Leno, who's got no chance. It's a brilliant, brilliant finish from Heung-min Son to give Spurs the lead.
It's his 7th Premier League goal of the season. Fulham's resistance finally broken. Yes, they were masters of their own downfall, but it's a brilliant finish from Son. In the rain, in North London, he slides on his knees in celebration. And you wonder, Chris,
that might be enough.
What have Fulham got by way of recovery?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mention that record. No win in their last 15 Premier League games when they've conceded the first goal, Fulham. And Tottenham, this season, when they've got themselves in front, have proved very difficult to reel back in.
Yeah, this is a big 10 minutes in the game for Fulham to get to half-time, not conceding another one.
It did come at the end of a spell of incessant Tottenham pressure.
It did, absolutely. But it was a really poor ball from Calvin Bassey.
Son's excellent start to the season continues. Who needs Harry Kane playing that number 9 role? Here he is again, the Korean. Willian has robbed Pedro Porro, but Richarlison slides in to win it back. And now an opportunity for Kulusevski to cross towards Son, and I tell you what, Bassey had to win that header, or Son would have nodded in for 2-0. It's a corner.
Yeah, Son thought, his eyes lit up there, Heung-min Son, as the cross came in from Kulusevski. He thought he was going to have a free header 6 yards out with just Bernd Leno to beat, but Calvin Bassey jumped and stretched his neck and just flicked it off the top of Son's head. Behind for a corner.
Tottenham's first corner of the evening. They lead by a goal to 0. Maddison across to take it. As you mentioned, Fulham now will just want to get to half-time, only a goal behind. Tottenham scenting blood. Maddison with the delivery. Headed away by Paulinho at the near post. Kulusevski picks it up and is then forced out wide by Andreas Pereira. Oh, little back heel into Romero. Romero crossing from the right-hand side, a little bit high. Headed away by Deco Doveri, but still Tottenham will come forward with Udogie. Højbjerg forward to Papsar. Has been a really good watch, this. Fulham have very much competed. And you wonder how different it could have been had that header from Paulinho found its way into the net, but kept out by Vicario early on. Maddison on the edge of the area, being urged to shoot, rolls it forward to Son. Little back heel to Udogie. Kulusevski with a shot, and it's hit his own man, as it Pedro Porro. Last touch was off Robinson. Tottenham have a corner. That was a brilliant move.
Beautiful football, wasn't it? Little 1-2s in the penalty box. Maddison, lovely pass into Son. Little flick into the path of Udogie, whose shot is blocked. Then it falls kindly for Kulusevski, whose shot is blocked by Anthony Robinson behind for a corner. But Spurs very close to their second.
Kulusevski to take this corner. Pressure mounting on Fulham at the end of the first half. Kulusevski's delivery is headed away by Vinicius. Pedro Porro from a long way out drills it goalwards, and again it took a nick off a Fulham player, and Tottenham have another corner here.
He controlled it well there, didn't he? Pedro Porro was bouncing up awkwardly, hit it on the half volley, just fizzed it along the grass. Little deflection behind for the corner. Maddison again to put it into the danger area.
5 minutes the first half to play. Short corner this time from Maddison to Højbjerg. Højbjerg's cross headed across the box by Robinson. Son thought about taking it on the volley, but in the end just cushioned the ball into the path of Kulusevski. Fulham got it back with Willian. Willian plays it out to the left-hand side, and Andreas Pereira. Pereira chipping the ball into the centre, where it's nodded down by Castagna. Bassi back to Ream, the heart of that Fulham defence. Tim Ream, 35 years of age now, the American centre-back. Here's his fellow countryman Robinson over the halfway line. Out to Willian. Vinicius and De Cordova-Reid wait in the centre. Willian with a cross towards De Cordova-Reid. He heads it down against Udogie, and behind for a Fulham corner. If he could have found Vinicius, Tottenham could have been in trouble.
Yeah, Spurs really lacking defenders at the back post there. Lovely ball from Willian. De Cordova-Reid trying to head it back across the 6-yard box into the path of Carlos Vinicius. He's appealing for a handball from Udogie, but I don't think it was. But if that had missed out Udogie there, Vinicius would have had a free shot from 6 yards out.
Third Fulham corner. 1-0 down. Away from home against Tottenham. Their only away win this season was against Everton on the opening day. Andreas Pereira with a corner. Outswinger. Headed back out to the corner taker. And he's offside. That's a free kick for Tottenham. When they have been able to come forward, Fulham, they look dangerous.
Yeah, they do. They do look dangerous on the counter-attack, and they've got numbers. Spurs commit so many bodies forward, and they do leave themselves a little bit open, but you have to take advantage of it.
Spurs a goal to the good, scored by their captain Son yet again this season. James Maddison dropping very deep to pick up possession on the halfway line, but immediately plays it forward to Udogie, and Son lays it off to Richarlison. Richarlison crossing into the centre. It's Pedro Porro arriving from fullback. Just couldn't quite get on the end of it.
That was a lovely idea, wasn't it, from Richarlison? He whipped it in with pace. Pedro Porro in between Anthony Robinson and João Palhinha off the back of the centre-backs. He's actually a couple of feet away from in the end, looked a bit nearer. Ooh, Richarlison may well have just twisted his ankle ligaments there as he blocked that one out.
Well, he went down immediately, but he's very quickly back to his feet, Richarlison. Got to say, Chris, Son, who obviously all the time Harry Kane was here, operated on the left of that three in behind the lone striker, really suits that role, doesn't he? The way that he holds the ball up, his passing ability.
I think the way Spurs want to play the ball into his feet, they've got runners going beyond them, it does suit him.
I did wonder where the goals might come from once they sold their talisman. Haven't looked back so far, Tottenham.
But you do wonder how many goals Harry Kane might have scored in this team, because they're creating so many more chances and playing better football.
Well, they'd actually have more shots than anybody else in the Premier League heading into this latest round of fixtures, and only Man City and Arsenal had more possession in the first 8 games of the season. That tells you exactly how much they've been transformed under Postecoglou. Willian has given the ball away inside the Tottenham area. Papsar plays it back to Romero. If they can beat this press, they're going to have men over here, Tottenham. And it's Papsar looking to get away from Willian. Into the last minute of normal time at the end of the first half. Tottenham 1, Fulham 0. De Cordova-Reid has got it back on the edge of the area. And Lukic into Pereira. His shot charged down by Romero. And then Sarr there ahead of Paulinho, and it's Romero who carries the ball all the way towards the Fulham area. Kulusevski making the run ahead of him. Romero comes infield and then finds Kulusevski. Opportunity for 2-0.
Oh, we should have shot.
Trying to cut it back for Son. Maddison can't get the shot away. Kulusevski, well, he was selfless when he needed to be more selfish.
Wow, what an opportunity for Kulusevski. What a pass from Christian Romero. He had to get the shot away earlier on his left foot as well.
Here's a doggy for Spurs. Last few seconds before we move into stoppage time. Tottenham 1, Fulham 0. Just the 2 added minutes to take us to the interval. Here's Sarr back inside the Tottenham half. Just conserving a bit of energy late in the half, Spurs. Maddison back to Christian Romero. In the moment, Spurs knocking the ball around amongst themselves. Maddison in the left back position. Forward to Udogie, using acres of space inside the Fulham half, and he looks to find Richarlison. Richarlison cutting infield. Højbjerg trying the 1-2 with Son. Højbjerg goes down under a challenge from Bassi. Son is convinced that should be a penalty and is imploring Anthony Taylor to point to the spot. He hasn't.
It's going to be how much of the ball does Calvin Bassi get as Højbjerg tries to play a 1-2. The ball bounces up in the air. He doesn't get any of the ball, but does...
And the ball already gone.
Well, certainly Højbjerg's getting nowhere. No, I don't think that's a penalty.
Because Højbjerg's not going to get on the end of it.
And also, he almost runs into Bassi, not the other way round. Bassi doesn't really make contact with Højbjerg.
No penalties, the decision. And Robinson is dispossessed on the halfway line by Pedro Porro. That will probably be the last attacking action of the first half. First half in which Fulham have had opportunities, most notably the header from Paulinho, clawed away by Vicario, the Spurs keeper. Son firing brilliantly into the top corner. And that's the goal that is going to separate the two teams as Decordova-Reid's cross is headed away by Van der Ven. Richarlison flicked it around Lukic, but Bassi got there ahead of him. And then Castagna forward to Decordova-Reid. And a free kick right at the end of stoppage time. Carlos Vinicius has put the ball in the back of the net, but the whistle had already gone. And we're into the third added minute, and Fulham with one last opportunity. Chris Perry to get the ball into the box. Clumsy from Udogie on Castagna.
I'm not sure. I think he's given offside here. I'm not sure he's given the free kick. And certainly Decordova-Reid was offside.
Yeah, and the assistant flagged for that. I think Fulham thought they'd be given the free kick, but it has gone Tottenham's way. Not too sure why the referee, with that in mind, hasn't blown for half-time already. Romero has it inside the D on the edge of the area. And there is the half-time whistle. Tottenham with their noses in front. Son with his 50th goal here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, curling into the top corner with 9 minutes of the half to play. That after Vicario have made a really good save to keep out Paulinho's header. Fulham are going to have to come from behind if they're to end their miserable record in away London derbies. Half-time here. It is Tottenham 1, Fulham 0. You are listening to Premier League Live.
Here's what's happening on Sirius XM Sports.
There's nothing like a Game 7. MLB Network Radio on Sirius XM 89 with the Astros Rangers. Game 7 ALCS pregame at 5 Eastern, followed by the play-by-play. Phillies D-backs NLCS pregame is right now. MLB Network Radio on Sirius XM 89 and on the Sirius XM app.
Sirius XM Sports. Wherever you are, your team plays here.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn your best price from nearly a dozen highly rated, price-competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote Life. For example, George is 40. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino. And believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-852-9320. That's 800-852-9320. 800-852-9320. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Attention investors, are you sick and tired of riding the ups and downs of the stock market? Your portfolio should be providing you and your family with passive, predictable returns every month, and I can show you how. My name's Grant Cardone, and I founded Cardone Capital to give the everyday investor access to real estate assets typically reserved for the ultra-wealthy and ultra-connected. Over the last 30 years, I've bought and sold billions of dollars of real estate. We only purchase Class A, stabilized, cash-flowing assets in the best markets in the country, and that's cash flow from day one of ownership. Don't be fooled by offers of high returns by speculative development funds that always get punished in recessions. Protect your money and your portfolio while getting monthly distributions and the tax benefits of an owner. Visit CardoneCapital.com. Go to CardoneCapital.com. That's CardoneCapital.com to learn more about our latest deal. That's CardoneCapital.com. Go there today to get informed about our latest deal.
Individual results may vary. There's no guarantee that past performance will be indicative of future results. Invest wisely. See full disclosure at CardoneCapital.com.
The Coaching Academy.
Benny Feilhaber, the head coach, Sporting KC2.
Take it outside of soccer. I think being honest is important in any relationship that you have. Soccer is a game that is difficult. It's exhausting. And when you're out there, if you don't want to play for the coach, you're going to find excuses. You need guys that want to do well for you, that want to play for you. I think being honest is, a very important part of that.
The Coaching Academy with Glenn Crooks, Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern, and anytime on the SiriusXM app.
You are listening to Premier League Live, half-time in our London derby this evening. Tottenham leading Fulham by a goal to nil. Son curling into the top corner in the 36th minute. At the moment, Spurs heading back to the top of the Premier League table. We'll get Chris Perry's reaction to what we've seen so far very shortly. Big week for the English clubs in the Champions League, not least for Manchester United. They simply have to win at home to FC Copenhagen, the Danish champions, tomorrow night to stand any chance of reaching the knockout stages. And it's bound to be an emotional evening at Old Trafford following the sad passing over the weekend of the late great Sir Bobby Charlton. Here's what Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag has had to say about the occasion.
It's always special every night on Old Trafford, and the fans are always so behind us, so this is a strong bond. Remember the last game, the home game against Brentford, even when the game is not going in our direction, they stayed behind us. So in difficult moments, and moments where is adversity around Man United, and the fans are still with us, and we are with the fans, and we are fighting together. So definitely tomorrow, after passing away from Sir Bobby Charlton, their hero, their legend, their giant, I'm sure there will be even more very emotional evening. I expect tomorrow night. Yeah.
So Erik ten Hag looking ahead to Manchester United against Copenhagen in the Champions League. Chris Perry, they've not been great so far this season. Could they be inspired by the emotion at Old Trafford tomorrow as the Manchester United fans pay homage to Sir Bobby Charlton?
Yeah, you'd like to think so, that it will lift everyone in the stadium, and the emotion should make the players, really, really put a shift in, and I think they'll get the result.
Yeah, well, they simply have to win, don't they, Manchester United? That's tomorrow night at half-time at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs a goal to the good against Fulham. Here's how the first half sounded on Premier League Live. Fulham with their first corner of the evening, the first corner of the evening, in fact. Pereira from the right-hand side. And a header towards the corner, which has been clawed away by Vicario. Excellent save from him.
Palhinha's header.
And then Castagna penalised for a foul on the follow-up. João Palhinha not far away there from nodding Fulham into the lead. Maddison releasing Kulusevski, and they look a little bit short-handed here, Fulham. Son in the centre, Maddison racing forward in support. Kulusevski to Richarlison, and he's side-footed wide from 20 yards out, and I think he really should have hit the target. Here's Richarlison. Son, is he onside? Into the area. Son with a shot into the corner. The flag stays down, and Tottenham lead in the London derby. And it's their talisman, Son, again, with his 50th goal here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's an absolute rocket shot. It's Tottenham 1, Fulham 0.
It's a poor giveaway by Calvin Bassey here. Ball into the front, intercepted by Van der Ven. Richarlison, Tim Ream is playing him onside. Lovely jink pass back inside onto his right foot to open up the goal. And Son, as you've seen so many times on his right foot, bends it high into the top corner past Bernd Leno, who's got no chance. It's a brilliant finish from Heung-min Son.
Romero comes infield and then finds Kulusevski. Opportunity for 2-0.
Oh, we should have
Trying to cut it back for Son. Maddison can't get the shot away. Kulusevski, well, he was selfless when he needed to be more selfish.
Wow, what an opportunity for Kulusevski. What a pass from Christian Romero.
Yeah, half-time, Tottenham leading Fulham by a goal to 0 on the balance of play. Chris Perry, do they deserve that lead?
They do just about deserve it, yeah. I mean, they've had lots of periods of possession. A little bit fortunate in the way the goal was created, certainly, but brilliant finish from Son. And then they went on and had a couple of moments where the Kulusevski shot, which was blocked behind by Anthony Robinson, and then that late chance of Kulusevski in the first half, where he came to the box and really should have got his shot away, and as you said on commentary, was just too unselfish. And you know, they deserve to be in the lead, but Fulham have really offered enough on the counter-attack to give them hope that they can score a goal in the second half.
And they have scored 6 of their 8 goals in the Premier League this season in the second half of games. So Marco Silva will believe that they can come back and get something.
I honestly do. There's been times when they've been 3v3 at the back and they just haven't quite got the pass right, or they had an overload, and you feel that there might be a goal in it for Fulham, but it's can they keep Spurs out at the other end.
I'll tell you who's impressed me tonight, more for what he's done in the attacking half of the pitch than defensively. Dennis Udogie, what's happening is every time that he comes forward, Pap Sarr fills in the back four, and Udogie's runs, of course, Fulham problems.
Udogie, yeah, he finds himself in field a lot, and he receives the ball in field, and he likes carrying the ball and driving forward, and most of the time he picks the right pass, and he's been really impressive.
And in terms of Fulham, they just need to get the ball into Carlos Vinicius a bit more, don't they? Need to give him some opportunities, because when he has had it, he's held it up well, but he's not really had too many opportunities.
He holds it up well, but most of the time the out ball for Fulham has been out to the left-hand side to Willian, driving inside, and then they're looking to get players up in support of him, and they haven't been able to do it. And if they can get a few crosses in and use Vinicius' height, I think they can cause problems for Spurs.
Yeah, half-time, Tottenham a goal up against Fulham. Son with his 7th of the season, his 50th here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Fulham, as I've mentioned, do tend to get the majority of their goals in the second half of matches, so at 1-0 down, Marco Silva will believe they are very much in the game. Second half commentary to come from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It is Spurs 1, Fulham 0. You are listening to Premier League Live.
The ball played into Balogun! MFC 157.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-1758. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-1758. That's 800-575-1758. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hi, I'm Joe Perillo with JoePerillo.com. We know many of you are searching for just that right pre-owned luxury vehicle. That's why I want to tell you about JoePerillo.com. At JoePerillo.com, you could browse our huge selection of luxury pre-owned vehicles. JoePerillo.com is based in Chicago, but we ship cars from all over the country. And while most of you know about our huge selection of luxury pre-owned vehicles, I'd also like to tell you about Perillo Collision. The Perillo Collision staff are trained and insured to repair Bentleys, Rolls-Royce, Lamborghinis, or any other high-end luxury vehicles. We service accidents from all over the country. Maintain your luxury vehicle's warranty with our professional team. Visit JoePerillo.com. That's JoePerillo.com. That's JoePerillo, and click on Perillo Collision, or call us at 312-BMW-1111. That's 312-BMW-1111. 312-BMW-1111. That's JoePerillo.com.
Hi, everyone. This is Heisman Trophy winner and NFL quarterback Doug Flutie. I'm excited to tell you that my podcast, the Flutie Flakes Cast, is back for the entire football season. I may have played like 21 years of professional football in 3 different leagues, but I'm still just a big kid, and I absolutely love this game. Every week, we'll talk about the topics I care about and bring on super fun guests. So please subscribe today wherever you stream your podcast or listen on the SXM app, included with most subscriptions.
You are listening to Premier League Live and TalkSport's commentary of Tottenham against Fulham from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I'm your host, Alex Crook, alongside me the former Spurs defender Chris Perry. This is Premier League Live, where at half-time the Spurs Stadium have been paying tribute to the late great Sir Bobby Charlton, Pat Jennings amongst those who are out on the pitch and paying their respects. Chris Perry to, well, arguably the greatest English player of all time.
Yeah, and rightly so. I don't think I've ever heard as many people have so much emotion about a player and have so much respect for a player from another club as everyone seems to have for Bobby Charlton. And I was fortunate enough to meet him on one occasion when we played at Manchester United away, and he's just a gentleman, and you're almost in awe of him when you come up and you shake his hand.
Looks like Fulham are going to go to their bench right at the start of this second half. Raul Jimenez and Alex Iwobi both coming on. Jimenez to replace Carlos Vinicius up front. And Iwobi will be coming into the midfield area as well. I'd imagine for Sasa Lukic. What do you make of those changes, Chris Perry?
I'm not surprised Sasa Lukic has been taken off. I thought he was a little bit off the pace in the first half, but I'm a little bit surprised with the Carlos Vinicius one. I know there's a lot of experience in Raul Jimenez and a good target man and a good player in there, but I thought Vinicius didn't deserve to get taken off. Maybe he's got picked up an injury.
Alex Iwobi, who played in 6 North London derbies.
He's going to get booed as well,
Tottenham.
isn't he? He's going to get booed just the same as Willian.
And Raul Jimenez, who has a reasonable record against Tottenham. 4 goals in 9 career appearances, but no goals in his last 30 in the Premier League. But he's going to get 45 minutes to put that right. We are underway in the second half. Tottenham all in white, attacking from left to right. Here's a doggy straight away, looking to cut the ball back to the edge of the area. Half-hearted appeals for handball from the Spurs fans, but Fulham will clear it away with Castagna, who hammers it against Richarlison, and out for a goal kick. No changes then for Tottenham. Vicario, the goalkeeper, Pedro Porro, Romero, Van der Ven, Udogie in the back 4, Højbjerg, who's been booked, and Sarr in front of them, with Kulusevski, Maddison and Richarlison in behind Son up front. For Fulham, Iwobi's actually replaced Pereira in midfield, so it's Leno in goal, Castagna, Bassi, Ream and Robinson, Paulinho, Iwobi and Lukic. Now the midfield trio with De Cordova, Reed and Willian either side of the substitute Raul Jimenez up front. Bit surprised he went for Pereira, not
I am. Yeah, well,
Lukic.
They're 1-0 down. Pereira can create goals and score goals.
Oh, here's Willian on the edge of the area. Romero just got there ahead of him, nodded forward towards Raul Jimenez, but in the end it sailed all the way through to Vicario, the goalkeeper. And here's Maddison now over on that far left-hand side for Tottenham. 2.5 minutes gone already in this second half. 1-0 Spurs, Son with a goal. 9 minutes from the end of the first period. Here's Romero, tall Argentine defender for Tottenham, out to Kulusevski, and he's passed it straight to Iwobi. Not sure he was expecting it though, and that enables Tottenham to win it back with Højbjerg. Now Udogie over on the left-hand side. It's been a sloppy start to the second half from Tottenham.
It has, giving the ball away cheaply. Fulham are pressing a little bit higher with a little bit more intensity, and they're forcing Spurs into a few mistakes early on in this second half.
48 minutes played. Dennis Udogie again is being forced back to the edge of his own area. Decordova-Reid just a bit overzealous in the challenge, and a free kick for Spurs. We know that if they can keep their clean sheet intact, we'll be going back to the top of the table. Fulham yet to string back successive results of any nature so far this season. Their last 6 games, drawn, lost 1, drawn, lost 1. So on that basis, they're due a draw tonight. Can they take it? 1-0 down. But again, Tottenham playing their way into trouble. Romero this time. Willian floats it out to Decordova-Reid in the right wing position. Decordova-Reid confronted by Udogie, so it goes back towards the halfway line, and Lukic. Now Iwobi. Marco Silva will be delighted with the first 4 minutes of this second half.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like he sent his Fulham team out to have a go and press Spurs and play a little bit higher. They were very, very passive when Spurs had the ball in the first half.
Here's João Paulinho. Well inside the Tottenham half. Drills the ball out to this left-hand side, and Robinson. Robinson was caught by Kulusevski, and it's a free kick for Fulham.
Probably could have just played advantage there, couldn't he, Anthony Taylor?
Willian is just slowly putting the ball into position, takes the free kick short to Iwobi. Now back inside the centre circle with Bassi. Here's Paulinho into Tim Ream. Ream out to the left, and Willian just in from this near touchline. Fulham all in black, shooting from right to left in the second half. Paulinho, that's a good-looking ball for Decordova-Reid, who's got in behind Udogie. His control lets him down, and Udogie here will bring it clear for Spurs.
Well, if Decordova-Reid could have brought that down, he was in on goal, wasn't he, in behind Udogie. His first touch just let him down. Brilliant ball from João Paulinho.
He can do that, can't he? As well as the dirty stuff, he's such a good passer of the ball, Paulinho.
He's got a lovely range of passing, hasn't he?
Here's Lukic down the right. Got Van der Ven for company. Handball, so the Tottenham fans. Referee says play on, and then Lukic goes down under a challenge from Van der Ven. Again, Anthony Taylor is not particularly keen to stop the play. Willian cushions the ball back to Ream inside the Fulham half. Now Bassi away from Maddison. Back to Ream again, the Fulham captain. Here's João Paulinho up against Højbjerg in midfield. 51 gone, Tottenham leading 1-0. But a 1-0 lead is never a comfortable one. It's Ream plays it down the left-hand side to Robinson. Willian up against Sarr. Robinson has continued his run and tries to poke the ball forward for Jimenez. Overhit, but applauded by his manager Marco Silva, and Postecoglou is just issuing some instructions for Spurs, who haven't started the second half well. As Chris Perry has articulated, Fulham being a lot more positive, a lot more commanding early in this second half than they were for much of the first. Christian Romero has the ball at his feet halfway inside the Tottenham half. Here's Højbjerg. Forward to Kulusevski, turns brilliantly away from Robinson. Kulusevski to Son, edge of the area, into Richarlison. That's woeful. Gets right underneath the shot, and it's high over the bar behind for a goal kick.
It wasn't the easiest finish, was it? But decent ball to his left-hand side from Son. Richarlison has time and space out there on the left. Decides to hit it first time with his right foot, looking to bend it to the far corner, and hits it 10-15 yards over the crossbar. And Postecoglou shakes his head.
Well, it's brilliant movement.
It was.
Just a poor execution in the end. Here's Jimenez trying to outmuscle the doggy. He's been fouled. Free kick for Fulham in a very central position, 20 yards outside the area.
He held it up well there, didn't he? Used his body well, kept the ball, shielded it well from the doggy, who just clipped Jimenez's ankle to win the free kick.
We've played 53 minutes. It's still Tottenham 1, Fulham 0. Tottenham back in action on Friday night. They go to Crystal Palace in a London derby. You'll be able to hear live on Premier League Live Paul Mortimer alongside me for commentary of that one. As Willian looks up and assesses his options. Fulham very much still in this. And a chance for the likes of Ream and Bassi to come forward from defence. At the moment, the Tottenham defence is lined up just on the edge of the D. Willian floats it into the area. Richarlison heads it away at the second time of asking out for a throw.
He did well, Richarlison there, stuck to his task well, defended with good discipline.
Here's Willian in the left wing position for Fulham now. Forward to Iwobi. Iwobi finding Bassi inside the centre circle. Neat little layoff from Lukic out to the right-hand side in Castagna. Fulham will go to Brighton on Sunday in their next Premier League game, before hosting Manchester United at home the following weekend. Bassi, not a great ball out from him. Højbjerg into Son. Son into Maddison. This could be 2-0. It is 2-0. James Maddison, surely with the goal that sends Tottenham back to the top of the Premier League table. But once again, Fulham played themselves into trouble and Tottenham ruthlessly took advantage. Spurs 2, Fulham 0.
There's real similarities between this goal and the first goal. Really sloppy in possession. Bassi again gives the ball away. Ball's played forward. Son's onside in the middle of the goal. This time, instead of cutting inside and shooting, he slides in Maddison. Just the goalkeeper to beat. Keeps his composure. Slots it to Bernd Leno's left-hand side and into the bottom corner. And Spurs probably got this game won.
It's turning into another excellent night for Tottenham and for Ange Postecoglou. Maddison with his third goal since that big money summer move from Leicester. Out comes the dart throwing celebration. I mean, he could have gone alone again there, Son, and helped himself to a second, but played in his power. It was a really good finish from Maddison.
It was a really good finish from Maddison. You never thought he was going to miss when he was played in. He was just so calm, just picked his spot, passed it past the desperate, really, Bernd Leno, who tried everything to save it. Emerson Royale's going to come on here for Spurs.
Yeah, an interesting change from Ange Postecoglou. Off goes Udogie. Is that a suggestion that he's maybe picked up some kind of injury?
I thought Udogie's been brilliant. And obviously, Emerson Royale's not a naturally left-sided player either, so you wouldn't want to take him off. I can only think it must be an injury.
Well, first, Tottenham changed the night. They lead by 2-0. It looked a tall order for Fulham at half-time. It looks a mountain to climb now. They scored 9 minutes before the end of the first half. They scored 9 minutes, Tottenham into the second. Son, scorer of the first, turns provider for the second. They do have a corner to defend, away to our left here. Fulham's 4 for the evening. Calvin Bassi comes forward looking to atone for the mistake that gifted Tottenham their second. Willian, good delivery from him, not a convincing punch by Vicario.
Van de Ven flicks it behind in the end.
It's going to be corner number 5 for Fulham.
Vicario comes for it at the near post, but it flicks off of Van der Ven's head and behind for another corner.
Spurs fans in fine voice now. 57 gone. Tottenham 2, Fulham 0. Willian with the corner from the right-hand side this time. Good header by Van der Ven. And Son with a chance to counter maybe. Just couldn't get there ahead of Robinson. And it's Iwobi who plays it all the way back to his goalkeeper Leno. 20 yards outside the area. Jimenez dropping into his own half, finding Lukic in the centre circle. Good ball out to the right, and Willian. He's got Castagna bursting forward on the overlap. Here is Castagna. Jimenez has made a great run to the far post.
Oh, brilliant.
And what a header that is. Clearing the danger, Pap Sarr.
Absolutely brilliant defending from Pap Sarr. Ran back. Looked as though Jimenez was going to have a free header at the back post, and he just ran and really broke his neck, got back in and just nicked in front of Jimenez.
Here's Willian. Iwobi now. Crosses into the area, steered away by Romero. What have Fulham got left in the tank now? Still more than half an hour to play. They trail by 2-0.
Well, you mentioned, didn't you, before the game, the fact that they're missing 2 central defenders in Adebayo and obviously Issa Diop. And Calvin Bassey's the man that's come in, and he's given away 2 goals.
Well, Vicario has headed the ball outside his area, straight to Willian. Willian forced wide, Romero. Much to the applause the Tottenham fans come sliding in and concede a throw.
He's a great defender, isn't he? But Vicario's looked a little bit edgy tonight, as though he's just not quite confident in what he's doing. Romero always puts his body on the line, doesn't he? But Calvin Bassey has been at fault for both goals, and that's a worry for Fulham if he's going to have to play.
Robinson into Iwobi. One back again by a combination of Romero and Sarr for Tottenham. Forward towards Maddison, but picked up by Bassey inside the centre circle. Well, I mentioned a difficult time of things at Ajax last season. His Premier League career is off to an auspicious start. The former Rangers man, Calvin Bassey. Here's Castagna over on the far side, linking up with Decordova-Reid. Richarlison back doing his defensive duty, but he's played it against Castagna. The ball didn't go out for a goal kick for Tottenham. Here's Palhinha. Floated into the area out to Willian on the left-hand side. Robinson with a deep delivery over the head of Lukic, and Richarlison again helping out his back four, just watches it out for a throw. He does work hard, Richarlison.
He certainly does, and I think Ange Postecoglou demands that from all of his players. You look at the effort that these Spurs players are doing to get back in. That, just seen a replay of that clearance from Pap Sarr at the back post, but that's all about effort and desire to get back in.
Emerson Royal giving the ball away on the edge of the area. Jimenez can't keep it though. Richarlison has been sent tumbling by Castagna and wins his team a throw.
Sarr's gone down here.
Well, that would be a concern because he started the season in tip-top condition.
He's looked really good, hasn't he? When he first broke into the team, he looked a little bit lightweight and looked like the game was going to bypass him, but he really has grown this season. Looks like Oliver Skipp might be coming on.
Well, they won't take any risks. Harry Wilson, meanwhile, is being readied by Fulham. Luis Morte, part of Marco Silva's coaching staff, an ex-Arsenal player, is just giving Harry Wilson his final instructions. Marco Silva now has his arms wrapped around the Welsh international. He's going to get half an hour to try and get Fulham back in this game, and looks like Pap Sarr is going to be replaced. He's another player who really has gone up a gear or two under Postecoglou.
Yeah, he has, but you look now, they've gone back to last season's midfield of Højbjerg and Skipp.
Ollie Skipp actually is a key part of Tottenham's leadership group. Big voice in the dressing room. Popular with the Spurs faithful as well as he comes on.
Yeah, he came through the ranks, didn't he? He's a very reliable and a very mature young man for his age.
And Bobby Decordova-Reid's night is over as well. Fulham have taken off their 2-goal leading scorer. Harry Wilson is on. You mentioned it, Chris, before the game, that goals in short supply for Fulham. That is going to be their Achilles heel, I think, this season, having sold Mitrovic to Saudi Arabia. Not really replaced him. Bassi with the ball upfield. One back on the halfway line by Romero. Richarlison is dispossessed momentarily by Castagna. And here's Romero again inside the centre circle. Formed a good partnership already with Van der Ven. Pedro Porro out to the right. Kulusevski, low ball, looking for the run of Richarlison, steered away by Iwobi. And then Pedro Porro has brought down Willian and gave him a kiss, I think, as they were down.
Almost had a little cuddle on the ground there, didn't they?
Free kick for Fulham midway inside their own half. They trail by 2-0 on Premier League Live. Is it damage limitation now for Marco Silva to a certain extent?
I don't think it is. I think they're going to try and get back in this game, but he won't want to lose this 4-5-0, that's for sure.
Tottenham oozing confidence. Madison skipping away from Lukic and from Paulinho, and he's got Son to his right. Goes the other side to Richarlison, and Richarlison can't keep the ball in play. Well, he did the hard bit, Madison. Probably should have just rolled it into Son. Went for the Hollywood ball, and it's out for a throw.
Yeah, the little nutmeg on João Palhinha is absolutely beautiful. Just flicks it between Paulinho's legs. That doesn't often happen to him. And he just overdid it. And sometimes I think that's what James Maddison does. I think when he's really confident and the team are playing well, he tries to do things that he doesn't have to do. Just keep doing the right things.
And here's another summer signing that the Spurs players have taken to their heart straight away.
They've been crying out for a player like him since Christian Eriksen left.
I guess the real surprise, they didn't face too much competition for his signature.
No, absolutely. I mean, he's a tremendous, but I think everyone knew, you know, when he was at Leicester that he was a real talent. I think he stepped it up again since he's gone to Spurs.
Yeah, relishing that role as the talisman, wearing that number 10 shirt. There's so many great players of Tottenham's past of
Hoddle shirt
have worn, yeah. And he is that maverick type player.
He is, exactly that
Paul Gascoigne type
that
player.
They love here, yeah, absolutely.
Teddy Sheringham was number 10, wasn't he?
Teddy was 10. He weren't bad, Teddy.
He did all right. Won 1 or 2 trophies in the end. Well, they're not at Tottenham. 25 to play. Tottenham 2, Fulham 0. They've got a good run of fixtures to come as well, Spurs, in the coming weeks.
They've got a real opportunity to stay at the top of the league and maybe extend that lead even.
I mean, the speed with which Postecoglou has managed to implement his playing style and just turn around the whole mood of the place has been quite incredible.
It has. And huge credit to him.
They've also got the youngest, or the third youngest, average starting 11 in the Premier League this season compared to the third oldest last season.
Yeah, Fulham's is the oldest.
They'll be fine, Fulham, in terms of relegation, but you can't see them finishing too high up the table, can you?
No, mid-table. I think they'll pick up enough points to be safe, as you said, but they're a centre forward certainly away from getting towards the top 8 and then maybe looking to qualify for Europe.
And when the Spurs go marching in, rings around this fantastic venue.
And the stadium's magnificent.
Some of Tottenham's football has been magnificent at times so far this season as well. Here's Kulusevski on the right. 25 minutes to go. All looks very comfortable at the minute for the host. They lead 2-0. Son in the first half. Madison early in the second. After Son turned provider. Here's Richarlison. He'd love a goal. Madison into Son. Son dropping to the edge of the area. Harry Wilson wins it back for Fulham, and now Bassi. panicked, I think, as Richarlison was bearing down him, and he's poked it out for a Tottenham throw.
Yeah, he doesn't look comfortable in possession, does he?
Here's Lukic for Fulham. Now Wilson. 20 yards inside the Fulham half. Brilliant ball out to the left for Robinson. Robinson knocks the ball forward to Willian, being booed by the Tottenham fans in this second half. Willian. He might have the opportunity to get a cross in here. Good ball. Headed away by Mickey van der Ven, the big Dutchman. And now it's back with Bassi just inside the Tottenham half. To Paulinho. Hasn't been able to impose himself in this second half like he did in the first, Paulinho.
No, he hasn't.
They just look like they're lacking a bit of belief at 2-0 down, Fulham.
They haven't got a cutting edge at the top of the pitch, have they?
Bassi. Closed down by Maddison, manages to find Castagna down the right. Brought down neatly on the chest by Raul Jimenez, but given straight to Højbjerg. Højbjerg races into the Fulham half, and he's found Richarlison in space. He's got options in the centre. Son lets it run to Kulusevski. Kulusevski had Højbjerg on the overlap. It's back with Son just outside the box after an important interception by Robinson. And now Romero inside the centre circle for Tottenham. That's the danger, isn't it? If Fulham commit too many bodies forward, Tottenham can pick them off on the counter.
Spurs have got so many threats. They've got pace on both flanks. They can pick you off if you do end up committing too many bodies forward chasing this game.
21 minutes still to play. Spurs 2, Fulham 0. Spurs, as I've mentioned already, at Palace on Friday night. They'll see that as an opportunity to continue their winning run. Højbjerg has been fouled by Willian. Right in the centre of the Tottenham half. Fulham, who finished 10th last season. Ball forward to Son. Good defending this time by Bassi. And he plays it across his own area, and it's cleared away by Castagna. Did well there against Son, Bassi. On a difficult night for the former Rangers man. That will give him a little bit of confidence.
He defended well. I'm not too sure about the ball across his own box.
Well, I think he knew, in fairness, that
there was no one there.
There was no one in a white shirt that caused him any problems. João Paulinho has brought down Maddison. I think that's a tackle born out of frustration from Paulinho.
There's nothing in it. It's not really even a foul, is it? I mean, Maddison goes to ground. No force at all, and you can understand why he hasn't picked up a yellow card, because there's nothing in that tackle.
Maddison over the free kick.
Good opportunity here to whip the ball in just outside the 18-yard box, wide on the right-hand side.
And they've got threats in the air, haven't they? The likes of Van der Ven and Romero, both of whom have been amongst the goals already this season. Maddison with a whip delivery. It's flicked across the 6-yard box by Son. Any contact to the far post, it may well have been 3-0.
Yeah, Romero has his head in his hand. Son gets across the front of Harry Wilson, tries to glance it towards the far post, just help it on. No one at the back post for Spurs, just to tap it in.
He's had another good game though, hasn't he, Son?
He has. He always plays well, I think. Very rarely see him have a bad game.
And he seems to be revelling in that responsibility of filling the void left by Harry Kane.
Yeah, and I think he likes the captain's armband as well. I think he's grown.
Why do you think he did lose his way last season? Was it lack of fitness?
I think probably a little bit of lack of fitness. Picked up the injury, didn't he, early on. I think lacked a bit of confidence after he broke his cheekbone as well. But I think it's very difficult for him to replicate what he did the season before.
Yeah. And he plays a lot, doesn't he? He plays every game for South Korea, even in a friendly during this international break.
And there's a lot of travelling involved in that.
Yeah.
And once more, he's frustrated that they're not making the most of these moments.
Meanwhile, Fulham are going to make another change, and Sasa Lukic is finally going to be replaced. Harrison Reed coming on. Harrison Reed, who was sought after by Wolves in the summer transfer window, ended up staying.
He's not played a lot, has he? So he might be on his way in January, potentially.
Yeah, I think Wolves would still be keen. Quite experienced Premier League player now.
Yep. Reliable, isn't he?
Youngster.
You know what you're going to get from him.
18 minutes to play. Spurs comfortable with his 2-0 lead, courtesy of goals from Son and from Maddison. Here is Harrison Reed, involved straight away. His pass forward deflected out by Skip for a throw.
Marco Silva will just be hoping that something falls for Fulham in the next 10 minutes or so that's going to give them something to play for.
Yeah, because a Fulham goal, and
yeah, the game changes, doesn't it, completely?
Would be a nervous finish here for the home supporters. They've had a few of those this season, a few late rallies. Most notably against Sheffield United when they scored the latest goal in Premier League history to win the game 2-1. Kulusevski right at the end. The ball is played back to the red-shirted Bert Leno, the former Arsenal goalkeeper. Now he'd love to put one over on their North London rivals, but doesn't look likely at the moment. Harry Wilson has picked up an injury.
Well, that's a worry. There's
not
no
long
one
after
near
coming
him.
on.
Yeah, there's no one near him either, and he's gone down.
And he looks in a lot of pain, Harry Wilson.
Marco Silva's face is a picture. He can't believe it.
Did he just overstretch there as he looked to control the ball?
Did he land? Or did he take a stud maybe from Emerson Royale?
We're going to watch now. Yeah, maybe just well, that's actually good news, I think, for Wilson.
Yeah, definitely.
Just caught him on the kneecap. And he's back on his feet now. And the ball is at the toes of Christian Romero with 17 to play. Van der Ven up over the halfway line for Tottenham, dinking it forward, looking for Royale, but out of play for a throw-in for the Cottagers. Back with Tim Ream, the veteran captain, taking a couple of attempts to establish himself as a Premier League player, Ream, but he had a very good season last year. Robinson's been caught by Kulusevski inside his own half. It's a free kick in the Fulham left-back position.
The game's a bit bitty at the moment. There's free kicks and no real flow to the play, and that will suit Spurs with a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, they'll be content just to run down the clock. Paulinho looking to do a bit more than that. Arrows a pass out towards Wilson, but Vicario had a good starting position. He falls over as he makes the clearance, but he got enough distance on that to find touch inside the Fulham half.
Speculative pass really by Paulinho, wasn't it? It was asking a lot of Castagna to get up there.
Bernd Leno playing the ball out to Ream on the edge of the area. 15 minutes remaining. Fulham 2 goals down. Castagna back to Calvin Bassio, another heavy touch straight to Maddison. Maddison could have left it for Son, maybe should have done, because his shot's blocked by Ream, and then Richarlison hammers the follow-up over the bar. Almost another nightmare moment for Calvin Bassey.
And he's given it away again in his own penalty area, this time dwelling on the ball, getting caught in possession by Maddison. Maddison's shot is blocked by Ream, fortunately, and then Bassey slides in and gets a block behind.
Should Son have taken on the shot?
Yeah, I think it was an easier one for Son. I think Son wanted it.
And there were some words exchanged between him and Maddison after he missed the opportunity. The England
Marco
man.
Silva cannot play this way with Calvin Bassey in the team. I think he's seen that tonight.
Yeah. Iwobi charges down the pass from Kulusevski, wins his team of throws. The camera once again pans in on an anxious-looking Bassey. And Bassey has it now inside the Fulham area and finds Castagna over on the right. Here's Harrison Reed, the flame-haired number 6 for Fulham. A little toe poke out to the right of Wilson. Wilson going to try and switch the play to this left-hand side. Good ball into Willian, who controls it neatly on the chest. He's got Robinson ahead of him. Robinson challenged by Pedro Porro. And Fulham will have a throw down by the left corner flag. 2-0 Tottenham lead.
Well, they need something to happen soon, Fulham.
Willian with the punt into the area, but over the head of Reed, and big shout from Vicario for Van der Ven to leave it for his goalkeeper.
Yeah, it was a good shout, wasn't it, from Vicario. Van der Ven did well to leave it.
Just that one big save he had to make in the first half, Vicario.
Yeah, from the header was a strong left hand.
Felt like a big moment at the time, and so it's transpired. Here's Maddison. Controls the ball in mid-air, just inside his own half. Maddison finds Højbjerg. 13 minutes to play. Tottenham in no real hurry to get the ball forward in search of a third goal, and Romero plays it against Iwobi, and it ricochets kindly for Vicario on the edge of the area. There's Pedro Porro down the right. He knocks it off Willian and out for a throw. I wonder if we might see Brennan Johnson for 10 minutes at the end of the game just to get some minutes in his legs.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see just how fit he is. Good to see him back, and I think he's a really exciting signing for Spurs. Play on either flank, very, very quick.
Yeah, another exciting young player as well.
Yeah.
You can see their identity this season. It's not always been the case in the recent past, is it?
Absolutely not.
And that's credit to Postecoglou and his coaching team, and credit to Spurs. Actually, they got a bit of stick for taking a while to appoint.
Oh, that's a yellow card.
Their manager.
Well, no, he's gone straight through. That is ridiculous decision from Anthony Taylor.
Well, he skipped the sort of scissor tackle, but
yeah,
play continues as a collision off the ball. Two players are down. Maddison just back heels it out of play so they can receive treatment. Richarlison is one. I think Harry Wilson was the other. He's now back on his feet.
This tackle here. You can win the ball, and he got a bit of the ball, but you can't go through the player to win the ball nowadays. That's a free kick.
Yeah.
It's a very, in my day, that was a perfectly timed challenge. But nowadays, you can't make that challenge. I'm really surprised Anthony Taylor didn't pull that up.
It's Chris Perry, the former Tottenham defender, here on Premier League Live. Wilson and Richarlison both have fully recovered. And the ball is sportingly given back to Vicario by Fulham. As we move towards the final 10 minutes of the game, Tottenham leading by 2-0.
You're just crying out for Fulham to do more.
Yeah.
Aren't you? You know, it's like they're just accepting they're going to get beaten.
And the 2-0 maybe is a respectable scoreline.
Yeah, exactly that. We'll go away. We've lost 2-0. Doesn't look too bad. Actually have a go. Try and get something out of the game. Try and get a goal. I mean, they're desperate for goals.
Yeah, they've only scored 8 in their first 8 games of the season, and 3 of those were against Sheffield United, who already look like they might be the whipping boys. Just 1 point from 9 matches for Paul Heckingbottom's side so far. Triple change at the ready for Tottenham. Brennan Johnson amongst those who will be coming on. I wonder if he might give Son the last 10 minutes off. He won't want to come off, will he?
No. And as you say, lots of travelling over the last couple of weeks. A doubt for the game, wasn't he?
This is Willian forward towards Robinson. Romero steps across imperiously.
Offside, I think.
And the free kick goes Tottenham's way, and here come the changes with only 10 minutes of the 90 remaining, and it is Richarlison who is replaced by the fit again Brennan Johnson. He made a real impact actually when he came on here in that comeback win, Johnson, against Sheffield United.
He did.
And we are going to see 2 more Tottenham changes, and Son is indeed given the final 10 minutes off, and Alejo Veliz, the youngster, comes on. He doesn't look overly happy, Son, that he's got to give the armband up.
No. He hates being substituted. He wants to play every minute. And Maddison being replaced by Lo Celso.
Yeah, Giovanni Lo Celso, who may have thought his Tottenham career was over in the summer transfer window, but here he is. That's a nice position to be in, isn't it, when you can take off Son and Maddison?
Oh, absolutely.
With 10 minutes to go. What do you know about Aliou Veliz?
Not a lot. Not a lot about him. He scored a couple of goals, I think, back in Argentina.
I guess if there is...
Very young man and a real talent.
But if there is an issue for Tottenham this season, it is that they haven't really got a like-for-like replacement for Son. It didn't work, did it, with Richarlison as the number 9 early on?
It just didn't. They didn't look the same team.
Eight minutes to go. Tottenham 2, Fulham 0. João Paulinho has gone off for Fulham as well in that raft of changes. Tom Kearney on. Tom Kearney, who scored a very fortuitous goal in that victory at Sheffield United. Shot with one foot, hit the other, and then bounced off the bar, hit the goalkeeper Foderingham and went in.
Hit everything and went in, didn't it? Yeah.
That's when you know your luck is in, or out, as far as Foderingham was concerned. It cost £13 million from Rosario Central, did Veliz, in the summer transfer window. Good goal scoring record for them. 19 goals in 48 starts, including 11 in 23 last season. Only 5 players in Argentina found themselves on the score sheet more often. Certainly one for the future as opposed to the here and now, as Fulham have the ball with Alex Iwobi. Cross into the area, cleared up in the air, but not really away by Emerson Royal. Ollie Skip with a chance to run it clear. He's nutmeg Willian. Kulusevski upended, was he? No, referee said no. And here's Jimenez, chance to get one back. Good save, Vicario. Just won't go in for Raul Jimenez, will it?
Really good opportunity for him. Everyone thought it was probably a free kick to Tottenham, but Fulham played on and Jimenez hit it with some venom.
But he hit it straight at the keeper.
Maybe not straight at him, but not far enough wide of him.
That will give Fulham hope, though. They can create some chances in the final 6 minutes plus stoppage time. And here's Willian on the edge of the area again, pulling it back for Iwobi, gets a shot away, blocked by Lo Celso. Big roar of appreciation goes up from the Spurs fans, and then Castagna has fouled Johnson. He's berating the assistant referee. It's going to be a free kick for Tottenham.
I think he's just literally stood on his toe. But Vicario came up with a big save here. Ball gets inside. Harry Wilson steps in, plays a lovely pass into Jimenez. He's 12 yards out on the right-hand side of the penalty area. Looks to aim for the far corner. It's far too close to Vicario.
And he hasn't had much to do tonight, Vicario, but when he has been called upon, he's been very reliable.
He's a really good shot stopper.
Anthony Taylor is
he's just booked
the goalkeeper for time wasting. That's a bit harsh, isn't it? Tell you what, there's fantasy league managers all up and down the country be tearing their hair out of that yellow card. -1 point. The Spurs have the ball with Lo Celso inside the centre circle. They lead by 2-0. Son towards the end of the first half, breaking the deadlock after a mistake from Bassi. And then Bassi at fault again as Son teed up Maddison to make it 9 minutes into the second. Ball upfield by Leno, headed back towards the box by Romero, but straight into the arms of the keeper. Tim Ream forward, and neat pass from Kearney out to Willian. I think he's looked lively, Willian, when they managed to get him on the ball.
Willian's been good, really good. As you say, every time he's got it, he's been positive. He's driven inside. He's tried to create something. He's always been a really talented player. When he was at Chelsea, he was fantastic for Chelsea.
Remember that record that I spoke about before the game? Ange Postecoglou. Surely now he's going to become the first manager in Premier League history to take 23 points from his first 9 games in charge. Good hitting at Chelsea, and Mike Walker back in the day at Norwich took 22. And there is a genuine sense that Postecoglou is building something here in North London. Marco Silva looks very frustrated on the touchline. Here's Kearney for Fulham, out to Willian on the left-hand side. Jimenez made a good run into the area, flicks it for Kearney. Kearney with a shot.
It's a weak shot,
straight into the arms of Vicario at the near post.
I don't know whether Højbjerg just does enough to block it. That's a lovely move, little flick, beautiful little flick, reverse flick from Jimenez into the path of Kearney. Angles against him, but it's a weak shot.
Spurs 2, Fulham 0. 3 minutes of the 90 to play. I don't think Fulham will want too much in the way of added on time. Here's Pierre Højbjerg for Tottenham. He'll be pleased to get 90 minutes under his belt, Chris.
Yeah, and I think he's been good tonight. I think he's shown what a good player he is, and that he can certainly play in this system that Ange Postecoglou wants to play.
Here's Jimenez. Showed too much of it to Romero, slides in and finds Kulusevski on the halfway line. Then Robinson forces Kulusevski to run the ball out of play right in front of his manager Postecoglou.
Romero's left Jimenez on the floor, I think.
Tim Ream for Fulham. Finds Harrison Reed in midfield. Iwobi plays it back to Leno. Powerless to stop either of the Tottenham goals, Bernd Leno.
He's been hugely exposed for both the goals, isn't he?
Actually hasn't had too much more to do, really. It's been a comfortable performance for Tottenham without really having to be at their best.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been in control of the game. They've always looked the side most likely to score. And I think they've always had in the back of their minds that Fulham haven't really got goals in them, so they can go and commit players forward and play with that confidence that Fulham weren't going to be able to take advantage of any mistakes that they make.
Here on the left-hand side is Brennan Johnson for Spurs. Just keeping the ball, running down the clock, keeping Fulham very much at arm's length.
Oh, Fulham just want to get on the coach, get back to West London now.
Yeah, at least they haven't got too far to travel tonight. Although getting across London isn't easy. Giving the ball away, Tottenham. Van der Ven on the edge of the area, that was sloppy. Here's Harry Wilson. Finds Reed with a cross that is half blocked by Emerson Royale and then played out brilliantly by Pedro Porro to Lo Celso. And Lo Celso has got acres of green grass to run into. And he's got the youngster Veliz ahead of him. Pass was slightly away from the Argentine, who in the end straight into an offside position. And it's going to be a goal kick for Fulham.
It's a good break from Lo Celso, wasn't it? Nice idea, the ball into Veliz. Just mistimed his run.
We are top of the league, sing the Tottenham fans. Haven't been able to say that for some time before this season. 9 games is a fair chunk of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, a quarter of the season gone now, pretty much. And as I said, they've got time to prepare for every game because they don't have any European competition.
Skip out to the left and Johnson, 7 added minutes. Not sure where they've come from. Fulham definitely didn't want to see that.
No.
Here's Vicario, the goalkeeper, all in.
They're still just sitting off. Go on, press.
At the moment, Spurs are just playing the ball around inside their own penalty area under no real pressure. Giving it away, though. Højbjerg quickly won back by Emerson Royale, who runs it out of touch, and it's going to be a throw-in. Over on that far right touchline. We've played one of the 7 added minutes. Tottenham still lead 2-0. This is Kearney. Long serving Fulham midfielder. halfway inside the Spurs half. He's got room to turn and play the ball out to Robinson Kearney. Here's Willian. Any goal now surely would be just a consolation and an irritant for Postecoglou. Here's Kulusevski forward into the Fulham half, and Tim Ream does well to hook the ball away from the Swede. He was caught up in that terrible atrocity in Belgium that saw the match between Belgium and Sweden abandoned at half-time. They're not going to replay it either. The 1-1 scoreline has now gone down as a final result. As Fulham come forward down their left with Willian. Oh, that's a good ball into Harry Wilson inside the area. He took too long to get the shot away and blocked by Emerson Royale.
Had to take it first time, didn't he? Spurs on the counter-attack now.
Yeah, Brennan Johnson finding Emerson Royale down the left, and he's continued his dart forward, Johnson. Oh, Emerson Royale dithering on the ball, is dispossessed by Harrison Reed. Guess this is the slight concern when you look at the players that have come off the bench for Spurs.
The Spurs don't look as fluent now, do they? And certainly not as good.
And they haven't got that squad depth.
And that's why the no European football is so important to them, because hopefully they can get their best 11 on the pitch most of the time.
And they're out the League Cup, of course, as well. Lost to Fulham on penalties.
Yeah.
After Postecoglou made a number of changes for that game. Got a bit of stick for it, actually.
I think it's the right thing to do.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do. I know everyone's talking about
you won the League Cup,
winning a cup. I wasn't there when they won the League Cup. I came the season after, but no. You know, they've won the League Cup, you know, a couple of times over the last 20 years or so, but
bigger aspirations this season.
I think much bigger aspirations. I don't think Postecoglou was thinking about that at all. He's thinking about the league, finishing in the Champions League spots minimum.
I mean, that would be a tremendous achievement.
It would.
When you look at the platform that he had to begin with, confidence very low.
You look at the expectation levels when he came in. You know, that would be a fantastic achievement, but they could go on like Arsenal last year. You know, no Europe to think about, prepare for every game correctly, and if they get a little bit of luck with injuries, if Arsenal have had Saliba for the whole season, I honestly think they'd have won the league.
And it's a problem, isn't it, for the likes of Manchester United and Chelsea, who've started the season in not brilliant form.
Yeah.
Tottenham have been allowed to build up this head of steam.
Absolutely. There's real confidence within the team. The fact that they've got the win tonight with Højbjerg coming back, Johnson coming back in, you know, and being able to bring on all these substitutes is a good thing as well.
3 minutes of stoppage time to go. In reality, this match was over a long time ago, probably over when Son,
as soon as Son scored
the deadlock 9 minutes before half-time.
Yeah, Fulham haven't offered enough.
They've only touched the ball 13 times, Fulham, in Tottenham's penalty area. Very difficult to score goals with those kind of stats. But here's Harry Wilson, played in by Iwobi. Again, he's taken an age to get the shot away.
It's just too
and it's
long.
blocked by Pedro Porro.
He's got to get the shot away with his right foot. I know he's left-footed, but he has to be able to use his right foot better than that.
Here's Skip for Spurs.
He's lost 2 opportunities with just the goalkeeper to beat because he can't trust his right foot.
Well, actually, Spurs will see those as 2 big let-offs.
Yeah, absolutely. When they've lost a bit of shape, haven't they, with all the substitutions? They don't look comfortable at all now.
Here's Lo Celso, back inside the Spurs half, plays it out to the right, and Romero. Pretty much taking off Maddison and Son at the end of every game this season, just to keep those 2 fully fresh. And then it's passed out, touched by Lo Celso.
Celso's giving Oliver Skip a long look, but it was a really poor pass.
90 seconds of stoppage time to play. Tottenham 2, Fulham 0. A couple of big opportunities for Fulham that Harry Wilson has not been able to take to get them at least on the score sheet. But the way that the Spurs players celebrated the block from Emerson Royale shows the spirit and camaraderie that Postecoglou has already instilled in this squad. Lo Celso again with a bit of a wayward pass that's kept in by Johnson on the far side. We've got a minute to play. This will be the last meaningful attack, you'd imagine, from Spurs. If they decide to go forward, Emerson Royale challenged by Castagna and out for a Tottenham throw. As the seconds tick down, And the ball is back deep inside the Tottenham half with Romero, who finds his fellow centre-back Van der Ven. Van der Ven being forced back to his own penalty area by Jimenez. Goalkeeper Vicario finds Romero into Pedro Porro, who's had a good game. And then Emerson Royale with the ball forward. I think he was looking for Valise up front. Kulusevski nearly kept it alive. And the ball in the end goes behind for a goal kick. And that probably, Chris Perry, will be the end of the game.
Yeah, Spurs just too good on the night. Deserve the victory. Fulham are going to have a long, hard season. No goals in that team. They need to sign a striker in January.
It's going to be a big month, isn't it, when the transfer window reopens. But Tottenham's serene start to life under record-breaking Ange Postecoglou continues. They are back on top of the Premier League. Son scored the first goal 9 minutes from the end of the first half. He made the second for Maddison 9 minutes into the second. It finishes here. Tottenham 2, Fulham 0. You're listening to Premier League Live.
The Rangers have won it, and we will be seeing you for a Game 7.
Hear every pitch of postseason baseball on Sirius XM.
See you later! Alex Bregman goes yard.
Today, 8 Eastern, American League Championship Series, Rangers, Astros, Game 7.
It is gone! Gone! Adolis Garcia!
On MLB Network Radio, Sirius XM 89, and the Sirius XM.
Hello, ALCS!
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. These are tough times for everyone, so dealing with your timeshare may not be your biggest concern. But when this passes, do you still want a lifetime of payments, fees, and commitments for a timeshare you were misled into buying?
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started the timeshare cancellation industry by exposing the ugly truth about timeshares and giving folks the straight facts. I've been fighting the timeshare giants ever since, so no one knows this industry better than me and my team. Today, we have saved our clients an average of $65,000 in lifetime payments. Imagine putting those timeshare dollars back in your pocket. Give my office a call today. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call Wesley Financial now for your free information kit. 800-722-1144. That's 800-722-1144. 800-722-1144.
Is your prostate secretly being destroyed without you knowing it? All the ads for these prostate pills like Super Beta Prostate, Saw Palmetto, ProstaStream, Prostagenics, and others. Want to know which pills work and which are garbage? Now you can. Get a free copy of the new guide, Prostate Secrets, that pulls back the curtain on the prostate pill industry. Learn what is really in these pills. Which pill has over 987 adverse event reports filed against it with the FDA? It's shocking. Learn the one food to avoid that is a prostate killer, and discover the 3 so-called health foods that destroy your prostate. Get your free copy at prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com. This free guide will show you how to end your prostate problems without drugs or surgery, 5 important things to do to protect your prostate, and much more. Warning, this guide is controversial and may be offensive to some readers as it pulls no punches. So go to prostatesecrets.com. Prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com.
Tom Money here from SiriusXM FC, and if you love soccer and you love banter, you need to check out Grumpy Pundits.
I accept your opinion, even though it's wrong.
We have a pair of legends in Rodney Marsh and Tommy Smith.
Did you ever hear such bull in your life?
And the 3 of us wind each other up whilst debating the biggest stories from the Premier League and beyond.
You're getting so grumpy.
Did you ever hear the name of this show? Grumpy Pundits.
This is the SiriusXM Sports Update.
Just moments away from the first pitch of Game 6 of the NLCS. The Phillies beat the Diamondbacks. They're into the World Series for this second straight season. Leadoff man Kyle Schwarber told MLB Network Radio.
It's a spot where you can set the tone right away, and you don't want to make that pitcher feel like he can settle in from pitch 1. You want to make them feel like that one. Either you can do a little damage, or I can work in a bat on them. So. If you can work a first pitch hit, or you can work a 7-pitch at bat, those are all wins.
First pitch in minutes on ESPN Radio Channel 80. At 8 Eastern, the American League takes center stage in a winner-take-all Game 7 between the Rangers and Astros. The matchup on the bump, Max Scherzer against Christian Javier. MLB Network Radio is live from Minute Maid Park right now, followed by the play-by-play at 8 Eastern on Channel 89. Astros reliever Brian Abreu's 2-game suspension has been upheld by an arbitrator and will be served to start next season. He is available tonight. Elsewhere, longtime catcher Stephen Vogt reportedly emerged as a serious candidate for the Guardians' managerial opening. According to NFL Network, the Eagles are trading safety Terrell Edmunds and draft picks to the Titans for fellow safety Kevin Byard. Week 7 comes to a close when the Vikings host the 49ers and Brock Purdy, coming off a regular season loss for the first time in his career. Christian McCaffrey expected to go for San Francisco. Play-by-play 8 Eastern on SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88. And don't miss a new episode of Let's Go. Tom Brady, Larry Fitzgerald, and Jim Gray recap all the biggest storylines 6 Eastern on Mad Dog Sports Radio Channel 82 and on the SXM app. I'm Alex Perlman.
If it's happening in sports, it's happening on SiriusXM.
I'm ready to roll. I'm locked and loaded.
What's my motivation here?
Don't think you're not equipped.
You are not paying attention.
I'm out of breath, man.
All I could offer you is a straitjacket.
Come on, man. Be serious.
I don't need your help.
He's lashing out.
I feel like I'm the bad guy here. I'm putting words in your mouth already.
You're damn right you are.
Eric, Tony, you guys are awesome. This is just getting more and more positive.
That's kind of what we do, right?
I'm actually excited to see what happens. This is Counterattack. Stop, cut. What are you doing? We don't pay you to think. Just read the script.
Son, is he onside? Into the area. Son with a shot into the corner. The flag stays down. And Tottenham lead in the London derby. Højbjerg into Son. Son into Maddison. This could be 2-0. It is 2-0. James Maddison with the goal that sends Tottenham back to the top of the Premier League table.
Wow, what a day for Tottenham Hotspur and the fans. And Postecoglou has now accumulated the most points by any new Premier League manager in their first 9 games. Pep, Jurgen Klopp, Sir Alex, all of these managers throughout the years, and Ange holds the record. Tottenham with the 2-0 win today to round out all of the weekend action in the Premier League. Tottenham back top of the league. We had MLS Decision Day. We have Lutz and Lutz to look forward to on this show. You'll get that joke a little bit later on. Keith Costigan alongside Eric Winalda. Eric, we heard the clips there from the Tottenham goals. One thing that the clips did not include was the play of Calvin Bassey in both of those goals. So Fulham lost 2-0, but their centre-back had 2 assists. I mean, it was like a mirror image, both goals. Tottenham were very good today. I thought that they were a fun watch again. But Bassey's got to be kicking himself with the way he's given away those 2 goals. But actually, wait, I'd change all that. How was your weekend?
No, it was okay. You thought that guy had a bad day. You should have seen my 2010 Academy goalkeeper. Poor kid. It was just a bad day. He had both assists on the first 2 goals. So,
no.
You know, when you just try and build out of the back, and it's just you're one pass away from trouble, and the next thing you know, it's 2-0. Anyway,
but you got to persevere with it. Young coaches out there, you got to persevere with it.
Yep, you know, it's part of. I don't really like that saying. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes you learn. I don't like when people say that, but there was some learning going on. Well, maybe in this particular game, but I will say this. And Emmett, get to work here, please. Emmett McConnell is our producer. He's going to have to look up some stuff. How many records does Ange actually have? Because Postecoglou is actually sitting on a couple of records right now. I mean, just look this one up. When's the last time he lost a game? When's the last time, as a manager, anywhere, he lost a game?
Well, if you take away, look, this is that you're gonna call me biased. You're gonna call me this sad, pathetic Liverpool fan. But you take away that ridiculous.
I'm gonna do decision. That anyway.
Yeah, well, you take away. Okay, Liverpool 20 points, Arsenal, Man City 21, Tottenham 23. If you take away that, I give Tottenham a draw in that game. We would have 4 teams on 21 points. I think these are the best 4 teams in the Premier League so far this season. But Villa at the weekend again against a good West Ham team, a West Ham team who've played well so far this season. Villa are only 1 point behind that top four. I think their next few games are Luton, Fulham, I think Forest. So this is a Villa side all of a sudden that I think are in that mix. And remember this year, it's the top five, right? It's like we expect 5 Champions League positions now. I think Villa are a legitimate threat to the Chelseas, the Manchester Uniteds, the Brightons of this, the Newcastles of this world. I think Villa are going to be right there as well.
You know what's funny that you bring this up? I was kind of on the same wavelength with you because, I mean, just watching Unai Emery celebrate. I mean, just he usually doesn't get that animated, but just watching him absolutely lose his mind, enjoy, was terrific. But those were good goals. It's a really well implemented, style of play that you kind of know it's coming, but the way it's executed, it's because Unai Emery for me has always been a sleeper manager. We did this at the start of the season. We had this gauge of who had the most hope. I don't know if you were a part of that stat we threw out there, but the 2 teams that had the most hope were, believe it or not, Burnley and Aston Villa. And then when Aston Villa kind of started poorly, we thought, oh, maybe we were wrong. Everything after that first game has been phenomenal, and you're probably spot on with this being the team to watch because they've certainly turned things around. It's just a far cry from what they were. I mean, sometimes we overreact to these kind of things because when you see as bad as they were, I mean, unfortunately under Steven Gerrard, they were poor. But this and the way that they played was just it was a different, it was a different feel. This is just every year we have one team that just kind of has totally revamped themselves and is fun to watch. That would be Aston Villa this year.
I think I remember watching. I was there when Sevilla beat Liverpool in 2016. Unai Emery was like serenading the fans as Sevilla were celebrating at the end. For me, he's this passionate coach. I thought it was ridiculous the treatment that he got in England the first time around at Arsenal. In England, where any English coach goes abroad and they don't speak the language of that country, they speak English in the accent of that country. Like, a la Steve McLaren as Joey Barton in front. I think we play really well. So this is a man coming across speaking in his second language, and these reporters have the nerve to try and make fun of his accent. I thought it was pretty pathetic and sad, to be honest with you. His job at PSG, I think PSG is one of those poison chalices because you go in there and you say, he's an identity coach. He's a build a group, build a culture. Very difficult to build a culture when someone above you goes, hey, great job on the culture. By the way, Neymar's going to arrive tomorrow. That, you don't have full control over your culture. And I think Pochettino found that as well at PSG and others as well. I think Villa and Unai Emery are almost a perfect fit because Villa is a sleeping giant. Look it up. They've always been a big club in English football who've fallen off the radar over the last decade. I'm enjoying watching this, and not just because they're doing well, but they're doing it in a really good fashion as well. Like they're a good football team to watch. A little bit like Tottenham today, right? They're good to watch.
Right. It's kind of because Villa. If I remember when I was a kid, man, I don't even know what channel it was. I think it was Mario Machado was the announcer, kind of, and we'd watch, English football. That's what you would watch. I don't even know what channel it was. I can't even remember. I think it was on PBS, for crying out loud. But how about that one for an idiom, for crying out loud? That's another good one. We should remember that one. But
don't
we used
even
to
go
watch,
there today,
right?
please.
When
this
all
is not
the
left my head
goalkeepers
over the weekend.
I know, all the goalkeepers wearing the big green jersey. There was always a big, pile of dirt in front of the goal because they could never get that right. The camera angles were always terrific. And I remember, just looking straight down, and the ball, sometimes on goal kicks, it seemed like it would come up and almost right next to the camera, and then before it would descend back to the field. I remember that as a child, just watching that. And Aston Villa was always a part of that deal. I used to hope that they would play because I love the uniforms. I was all about it. Obviously this was a different time with the likes of Grobbelaar and what Liverpool was for you. Manchester City and Manchester United weren't what they